Anyone else like to share? How about you in the back with the glasses, sir?
My name's Bobby, and I am an addict.
Hey, Bobby.
Hi, Bobby. You know, you folks aren't here because you're gamblers. You are here because you are terrible gamblers.
Hey, Bobby.
These folks don't need to stop doing what they're doing. They just need to get better at it. Who's stealing?
Please.
Who's that?
Let's roll. The Monday Night Meltdown has begun. The pits, the players, the hustlers, the people of Boston, and everybody else in between, from Costa Rica to California, Montreal to Minnesota, including the entire motherfucking world that is counting down kickoff to the 2018 World Cup. I'm fired up right now. We've got soccer fever, so to speak. So we'll talk some World Cup soccer this evening. We'll take a look at the updated odds, the games. We're putting together some parlays. A couple of teams that I'm starting to get a little concerned about, or I'm a little worried to think they might be able to advance. Who are the upstarts? Now, basically, there's never any upstarts that actually ever motherfucking win this thing. Yeah, it's sort of like March Madness. You might have a Cinderella story to get to the Final Four or something like that, but this year you won't. But it's never an upset. When has it ever been an upset in the World Cup? Off the top of my head, I can't recall any upsets. The Euro, you had Greece. Greece won. They were like fucking 80-1 or something like that. That was a pretty big upset, but that wasn't the World Cup. The World Cup, generally the favorite wins. Or not the favorite, or at least, one of the selected favorites. Now, I find it confusing, to be honest with you. Just having to go through, all right, Group A is going to play this and 1 and 2. But one thing I do notice, and I started to really dig down deeper into this tonight, is there's no real free passes for anybody along the way. Pretty much like a lot of pretty much everybody's got to play somebody good eventually. So listen, we got Major League Baseball on the board here this evening. Some late night baseball. We're on the Seattle Mariners tonight. We're on the Seattle Mariners. This game is just getting started. It hasn't started yet. It's going to be starting in a couple of minutes here. I don't understand the line in this game. I don't understand why the Angels are favorites. And maybe I'm walking into a trap here. I could be. But whatever, man. The Seattle Mariners are 17-5 in their last 22 baseball games, and they're plus 100 right now on their home field. It's Haney, man. Last time I checked, fucking Andrew Haney isn't fucking Nolan Ryan. He has pitched well. Like 7 of his last 8 starts, I think he's given up 3 earned runs or less. He's a good pitcher. He's better than people realize, actually, Andrew Haney. But Wade LeBlanc has pitched pretty well this year, too. Seattle just find ways to win baseball games. I know the Angels are a public team. They're a hype team, but I'm also on Arizona late here, but I'm on Seattle. Arizona are losing 1-0. We've got we'll run through what we're on, but it doesn't matter what we're on. That doesn't help you right now. I've already got a play on Seattle, but I'll go just a little bigger right now. And, of course, be nice if this fucking baseball game was on TV for me, but no, that's asking too much. Man, they used to show baseball games late at night. Like, what? I don't understand. Sportsnet always used to have the fucking Seattle Mariner late night games. Even TSN used to always have late night baseball. The Major League Baseball coverage this year has been terrible, fuck. I don't know if it's all on some sports pack or something. They want you to pay, but whatever the fuck it is, it blows. Yeah, I don't understand the line. Good to see Al in action. I guess it's the Andrew Haney, and good to see you, Truth. Good to see you back. I guess it's it's Andrew. I guess it's Andrew Haney and how well he's pitched. There's certain teams, though, that just don't get any respect, right, from the odds maker or from the betting public. It's not really the odds maker. The odds maker is going to set a number to what the public reacts to. So, You know, the Milwaukee Brewers and the Seattle Mariners are very similar teams. Like, you look at the Milwaukee Brewers, they were home dogs tonight. And Seattle, even though they are 17-2, 17-5 in their last 22 games, you know, look, they're home dogs. So, yeah, we appreciate you joining us here this evening. It's the calm before the storm right now. If not for the World Cup of Soccer, it kind of would be sort of the dog days of summer coming up. But there's no dog days of summer when you've got 1 month of the World Cup. Yeah, thanks, Chance Briggs. We did do pretty well with the UFC the other night. We had more winners than losers. We hit some underdogs with the picks that we gave you. We told you Sergio Pettis. We hit a couple underdogs. Losing Dos Anjos, that one hurt. I went big on that one. That wasn't so good. So we'll keep our eye on on this Angels and Mariners game throughout the evening. Now, my baseball picks tonight, like I said, I laid a 1.5 with the Cleveland Indians. And incidentally enough, if you listen to the radio show today, I did say that I think the Indians are going to win 4-0. It's 4-0 right now. I don't know if that'll remain 4-0. But I laid the 1.5 there. I've got under 8.5 in the Cubs and the Brewers game. I'm on the Arizona Diamondbacks. I'm on the Mariners. I'm on the Boston Red Sox in a motherfucking game that, man, no one will fucking score in, yet Baltimore do have runners on first and second right now. Come on, Boston. Oh, excuse me. Boston have runners on first and second right now. Boston are minus 155. So come on, Boston. Just fucking score a fucking run. I jumped on the San Francisco Giants. I'm starting to wish I didn't, and I should have cashed out when they were up. When they were up 4-2, I should have bailed. I don't know who it was, man. I saw someone tweeting Donnie Rightside, and I was included in it and shit. And they were saying about what a lock San Francisco was and how Florida and fucking the Marlins suck and stuff. I was like, dude, you're going to mush this. And he did. You can't be talking shit when it's fucking 4-2 in a baseball game. Our boy, tight coverage in the house, Craig Ballard. We'll fire off a link to our boy Ballard a little bit later on. If you remember, Craig Ballard used to have a show when I ran Morency Sports. He's doing his own videos of the day now and stuff. Or not every day, but video topics. And I see that Ballard's all fired up about LeBron James to the Lakers. And honestly, that's something that we're going to get to this evening. I don't know, man. Like every day there's going to be some sort of rumor about LeBron James and this and that. But the fact of the matter is LeBron James' kid fucking enrolled into a high school in the Los Angeles area today. What's up, big man? Yeah, big man will be with us on the radio tomorrow talking World Cup. And if he goes to the Lakers, you got to believe that Paul George is going to the Lakers as well. So that'll be the Lakers' little influx here. Paul George and LeBron James. The Lakers have money for 2 superstars. Like they can sign 2 max contracts. So they are in a good situation. He goes to LA, he's not winning. He might think that he is, though. listen, the Lakers have some decent players that have to sort of, you've got Brandon Ingram, you've got Randall, you've got Kuzma, you got Paul George, you got LeBron James. That's pretty good. Lonzo Ball's not any good, so whatever. Lonzo Ball can come off the bench and play and do whatever the fuck, but Lonzo's going to have to get the fuck out of the way if LeBron James and Paul George are there. I mean, Lonzo Ball is not going to be the point guard passing to LeBron James. That's not the way that's going to go down. That's the problem in bringing players into LA. It's a weird fit with Lonzo Ball, unless you're going to sign people that play like sort of power forward. Like anyone that handles the ball. Paul George handles the ball. LeBron James handles the ball. And LeBron James isn't redoing his game for Lonzo Ball. Now, for the record, the sports books have reacted to this. Now, LeBron James has continuously talked recently about how his family is going to play a major part in this. And it's no secret, man. The dude's got a motherfucking house in Brentwood or wherever the fuck it is. I think he's got a house down the street from where OJ did his business. I think he lives in Brentwood. Brentwood or Beverly Hills, whatever. Fuck. One of the fucking communities out there. I think it's Brentwood for some reason. I don't know why I think it's Brentwood. You figure he's too rich for Brentwood. But with his high school son who's a basketball player, and he's talking about wanting to be close to his family and about it being his family. I'm starting to buy in that he could end up with the Los Angeles Lakers. Listen, he might, holy motherfuck, another home run. Albert Pujols just hit a home run. Good shit, Wade LeBlanc. Boston had the bases loaded. It would help me to fucking win this fucking game if I'm going to lose the Seattle game. They got the bases loaded with 2 out. Come on, Boston. Just bust this shit open. So, look, LeBron James, you would figure that, listen, why would LeBron James go to Los Angeles? What are the positives of going to Los Angeles? Number one, it's the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, I can tell you this. Kobe Bryant doesn't want him going to the Lakers. Magic Johnson does. And Magic Johnson is the key here to LeBron James going to the Los Angeles Lakers. LeBron James looks up to Magic Johnson, not only from a basketball. Look, if you're someone like LeBron James, we talk about this often. LeBron James doesn't have a lot of peers. Right? LeBron James doesn't have a lot of peers. LeBron James isn't going to have a lot of people whose opinion he's going to respect enough, because he's going to look at it like, you've never been in a position like me. You don't really understand. There's very few people that can understand. A Michael Jordan, a Kobe Bryant, a Magic Johnson. But where Magic Johnson's importance comes in here even more so is the fact LeBron James wants to, he envisions himself more than a basketball player. Look, with his Blaze Pizza and his other business endeavors, he looks up to Magic Johnson as a businessman. Look, Magic Johnson owns a piece of the fucking the Los Angeles Dodgers. Magic Johnson owns a bunch of movie theaters, Pepsi bottling plants, right? Like Magic Johnson owns like many more businesses than people realize as an entrepreneur. And LeBron James wants to be like Magic Johnson and be around that. Plus the Lakers have that tradition. You can picture LeBron James in that uniform. You can picture LeBron James in a Laker uniform. And the fact of the matter is, there's very few teams that there's a guarantee. Like, that's the thing. There's no guarantee you're beating the Golden State Warriors, no matter where he goes. I mean, really, we've talked about this. From a basketball standpoint, you know, the Pelicans would be a fucking dangerous team if LeBron James went there, but he's not moving to New Orleans. He's not, you know, that's not happening. The San Antonio Spurs would make a lot of sense. Now, listen, just because LeBron James' kid is going to this high school doesn't mean that he is going to Los Angeles. Now, could he end up going to the Los Angeles Clippers? I doubt it, but maybe. If you think about it, the Los Angeles Clippers can sort of like, you know, start over and mold a team after LeBron James. But if you really seriously think about it, the Los Angeles Lakers don't suck. Right? When Lonzo Ball didn't play for the last couple of months, they were pretty good. And Lonzo Ball's not as bad as I make him out to be. You know, his defense, his plus-minus defense wasn't actually as bad as you would think. The kid can't motherfucking shoot. Like, that's a fact. But the fact also was the Lakers were a better team without him. Right? Like, if you look, Randall's a fucking good player, man. All right? Randall is a very good player. Brandon Ingram is a fucking stud. Kuzma is a fucking good young player. You throw in here Paul George, who's from Los Angeles and wants to play in LA, and Paul George and LeBron James are buddies. You throw in Paul George and LeBron James into that rotation with an Ingram, with a Kuzma, and with a Randall. That's not bad. You could have Lonzo Ball come off the bench, provide some spark. Lonzo would be good against other backups and stuff. But there's been rumors that Randall is on the block because they can't keep everybody. And Randall is going to be owed a lot of money soon. And Randall's pretty good. But between Ingram, Lonzo Ball, and Randall will be the odd one out. Even though Lonzo Ball is the fucking waste here. Like, Lonzo Ball, like I said, he's just taking up space on the Lakers. It's a mistake that you took him. But if you got LeBron James and you got Paul George, it really wouldn't matter. Fuck. You throw Lonzo Ball on the bench, you give the kid 18 minutes, 20, whatever. Like, you know, Lonzo Ball would still play. You know, does LeBron James want to deal with LeVar Ball? The Lakers wouldn't suck. Like, the Lakers wouldn't suck with Paul George, LeBron James, Ingram, and Randall, and Kuzma. Like, suddenly they become a legitimate force. Because, look, but either way, LeBron has a few options here. The most veteran players that are ready to win the most would be Harden and Chris Paul. But look, Chris Paul's been in the league for 14 years. He made it to the conference finals once. James Harden's a really good player, but I'm not sure he's a winner. And I don't know if LeBron James knows what they're like. And it's like, yeah, but they nearly did beat Golden State. I get it. LeBron James to me going to the San Antonio Spurs, and then they're an instant contender. If you have Kawhi Leonard, LaMarcus Aldridge, and LeBron James, that's a pretty solid rotation right there. To me, you know, they don't have a point guard, but LeBron has the ball in his hand all the time. Because that's the thing. LeBron goes to the LA Lakers. And this isn't a slag on Lonzo Ball, but the fact of the matter is LeBron James is a point guard. LeBron James has the ball in his hands all the time. And it's not like suddenly LeBron James is going to be a different person next year. Oh, no, yeah, I'm going to change. I'm going to play a different position for this kid. Like, it's not happening. And Lonzo Ball and LeBron James on the floor at the same time doesn't make a lot of sense. Like I just said, if you're the Lakers, your good rotation does not include Lonzo Ball here. You know, you could have Brandon Ingram, Randall, LeBron James, Paul George, and Kuzma on the fucking floor at once. You know, you throw in your Robin Lopez, your Brooke Lopez, or whatever fucking Lopez they have. Whatever one it happens to be. See, that's the thing, in that there's no real guarantee he wins wherever he goes. That's why, like, if you think, well, he's not going to go to the Lakers, he won't win. Well, if he goes to the Houston Rockets, there's no guarantee he wins. You know, if he goes to the San Antonio Spurs, they'd be pretty fucking good. If he goes to Philadelphia, he's got to deal with Boston and shit. And even after dealing with Boston, he'd have to beat the team out of the West. He'd be right back where he started. LeBron's best, for his best, it's his best interest to actually go to the West. I'm the opposite of people that think, oh, he's scared to go to the West. He needs to go to the West. Like, he needs to go to the West, so if he can beat Golden State in the fucking playoffs, he'll be guaranteed to win a title. Either way, he needs to be Golden State. And another thing is, Golden State isn't going to be Golden State forever. Like, this shit won't go on forever. Eventually, someone will bolt. The cracks will start to show. One thing is, though, the Golden State Warriors owner fucking already said, I guess today, that they're not going to let Kevin Durant get away. That whatever he wants, he's getting. So Kevin Durant, I don't know. And to be honest, I don't really see Kevin Durant leaving Golden State either. They've got a good thing going, but you know, eventually they're going to show cracks. Houston nearly beat them this year. Their depth is starting, you know, it's hard when you have all these star players. Their depth is going to be a problem for them moving on. And you saw this year's, you know, in past years they had better bench players. You know, now they got fucking Swaggy P out there, man. They got Kevon fucking Looney and shit. Like they're scraping by with the players that they have now. Like, it's not inconceivable that LeBron James could win a title with the Lakers in like 2-3 years. Now, I don't personally believe that Paul George is as good as he thinks he is, or as a lot of people make him out to be honest. I've always thought that Paul George has been overrated. Paul George is good, but he's not like superstar good, and he thinks he's a superstar. Like, Paul George thinks that he is like James Harden and Westbrook, and he's on par with these guys. You're not. You're like you're a tier 2 guy. Like, to me, Paul George is a DeMar DeRozan. You know, he's a tier 2. You're a tier 2 star. You're not like you're not the number 1 guy. Like, he thinks he's a number 1. But, you know, he's like a Jimmy Butler. And I think Jimmy Butler's better. So I'm not saying this is a slag of Jimmy Butler. I think Jimmy Butler's better, but it's the same thing. Like, Jimmy Butler got this max contract. Jimmy Butler's not a max player. Jimmy Butler works really hard. He hustles. He's streaky. He can get hot. He plays defense. Like, he's good. And I like him better. Like, if you gave me a choice, who do I want on my team? Jimmy Butler or Paul George? I'm going to say Jimmy Butler. Paul George is an egomaniac. He's a problem. I'm telling you. He was a problem with the Pacers. He bitched all the time. Look. Paul George used to complain and pull a little LeBron shit. I don't have any help here. He had attitude. He thought he was better than everybody on the Pacers. The Pacers get rid of him, and they're fucking good. They should have beaten the Cavaliers if the NBA wasn't rigged. The Pacers got better without Paul George. What did Paul George do for Oklahoma City? Nothing. Fucking disappeared in the playoffs. Fucking bitch, blah, blah. Always sour look on his face. Once in a while, Paul George will have a game where you're like, oh, fuck, like he teases you. Like, I'm not saying Paul George sucks, but I wouldn't sign Paul George to a max contract. Like, if I was a general manager, I'd be in that. I don't want him. He's not worth it. Like I said, he wants to get paid like he's a megastar, and he's not. That's a good question. My bias, I don't know. I don't like Paul George. I would say Gordon Hayward, but I think Gordon Hayward's overrated too. Gordon Hayward's another one who's not a superstar. It's a good comparison, Barts. He's another one that's not a superstar. Everyone about Boston Celtics, oh, Gordon Hayward, Gordon Hayward. Hayward's not a superstar, man. Hayward's a very, very good player. But this is where the NBA has a problem in which everybody gets labeled a star. Like, too many people make the same amount of money in the NBA. You know, like DeMar DeRozan pretty much makes the same thing as Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant's a lot better than DeMar DeRozan. DeMar DeRozan's very good, but you're not as good as Kevin Durant. You know, like, it's obscene that JJ Redick makes $24 million a year. You know, like, JJ Redick makes $24 million a year and Westbrook makes fucking 28. Like, how's that possible? Like the NBA is whacked in which pretty much if you fucking have a pulse and you're kind of good, like Andrew Wiggins and another guy. Like Andrew Wiggins gets paid like he's this mega fucking star when he's not. He's not. Like, what has he ever done for anybody? You know, like, what has he done? Like, oh, he hit a shot against Sacramento once on a Tuesday night. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck has Andrew Wiggins done for Minnesota? He doesn't even sweat during the games. Like, the motherfucker doesn't sweat. He's cool. He's either like he's got no sweat gland. Like, I'd like to know. Like, maybe I'm ripping. He's got a medical condition. He can't sweat. No, he doesn't try. Like Andrew Wiggins scores 21 points, 22 points, and they're the most meaningless 22 points of the night somehow. Like, he'll hit like a lazy jumper fucking when you're down 8. You know what I mean? You know, or if Minnesota's up 12, he'll fucking get hot. You know, like, he never hits a big shot, fuck. Yet there he is making a shitload of fucking money. You know, like, Minnesota are full of guys like that, fuck. That's why they're average. Like, there are so many overpaid players in the NBA, man. You know, Tristan Thompson makes $18 million a year. Serge Ibaka makes fucking $22 million a year. Like, there's all these dudes that just make way too much money, and it's too close in disparity to what the stars make. So Paul George is one of these guys. Like, Paul George is going to want like $35 million a year or something. And I'd be like, you're fucking on crack, bro. Like, there's no way in hell I'd give you $35 million a year. Yet the thing is, LeBron James isn't going to Los Angeles without somebody else. He's not going to LA without somebody else. Like, he's not going there. And Paul George has always wanted to go to LA. So the only other thing is, what's up, Callie McMillan? Is if it's a shocker, and he goes to the Los Angeles Clippers. Yet I don't see him doing that to Magic Johnson. And the fact of the matter is the Lakers have better young players. The only thing is the Clippers have a shitload of money. So they could tell LeBron, listen, we'll sign you, we'll sign George, and we'll bring in whoever else you fucking want. And we'll give you a part of the team. You know, Steve Ballmer is a very rich man. So you can't, like, discount it that he could do something stupid and offer LeBron something insane. Like he could offer LeBron part ownership of the team type thing. I don't think you can be an owner and a player, but he could like put it in writing type of deal that you could put it in a trust. Like, listen, you sign with me, you're a 25% owner of this basketball team. And when you retire, you're a co-owner. You know what I mean? Like type thing. Like they could get crazy. But I'll tell you what, the Lakers have good young talent. Like it's not crazy for him to go to the Lakers. Listen, Boston, the Boston Celtics are going to be good in the East. Philadelphia are going to be good. But you still, there's one team really. It's the Golden State Warriors still to beat. And he could go to Los Angeles and ride this out. Don't forget, they could add pieces, right? I mean, I've always stated that superstars don't want to play with LeBron James. Maybe it's because he was in Cleveland. So if LeBron James goes to LA and they have Paul George there, and then next year, the following year, there's more free agents out there on the board, people would want to join the Lakers. The Lakers will be trendy again. The Lakers brand name is a powerful one, guys. It's like, they're the Yankees of fucking, I guess technically the Celtics are the Yankees of baseball because they've won the most. But, the LA Lakers were down on their luck for a couple of years, but it's still a very powerful brand name. I appreciate that, King Ganja. Well, yeah, listen. You didn't hear me. You didn't hear me sit here and say I think LeBron James is the greatest player of all time. I think that's laughable. We've been down this road before. I don't want to relive it, but I'll put it in this term, okay? This is all I'll say. Look. Justify won the Triple Crown, right? Even though fucking they kind of cheated. But anyways. Justify won, and Justify is now 6-0. Justify went 3-0 in the Triple Crown run, but he had 3 races before that. So Justify in his life has run 6 races, and he's won all 6 of them. Incidentally, the same number that Michael Jordan was in the NBA Finals, 6-0. Now, Justify, as a Triple Crown winner, is now in the same conversation as the other greatest horses of all time. Is he better than Secretariat? No. You know what? But you can't take it away from him. He's a Triple Crown winner. All right? And there's only, fucking 12 of them now, or 13 or whatever. Or, sorry, there's like fucking 7 of them. Excuse me, 6. It was 14 coming into this. Whatever the hell. You know what I'm saying? So, LeBron James is like a great racehorse. All right? LeBron James won Kentucky Derbies before. LeBron James won Belmont Stakes before. LeBron James has won Preaknesses before. But LeBron James never won the Triple Crown. So therefore, if LeBron James was a horse and he ran in 9 races and he won 3 of them, we can't say that, you know what, he's like these other horses that are Triple Crown winners. Somebody sent me a tweet today. We were talking about this on the radio today, and I was using this analogy. And somebody had a great example. And somebody said that LeBron James is like John Elway. John Elway is a Hall of Famer. John Elway is one of the best quarterbacks ever. But John Elway isn't Joe Montana. Joe Montana, is Joe Montana. And then, it doesn't mean that John Elway is an amazing fucking quarterback and a 2-time Super Bowl champion and a Hall of Famer and an owner of a fucking team. Now, team sports, yes. Corrente. You could argue, oh, it's team sports. Like Pete Yiannopoulos said today. If there's any sport that the superstar has the most impact on a game, it's basketball. And look it, obviously people, you don't want to listen to it, but it's not an insult on LeBron James. But LeBron James isn't in the category of a Michael Jordan. You know, he hasn't won. Magic Johnson won 5 titles. Kobe Bryant, you know, like you have to win. It's like Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods, you can say, oh, he's the best. No, he's not. He didn't win. No, he's not. You know, winning actually counts. And not just like, I understand it's a team sport and everything like that, but, you know, getting blown the fuck out, quitting, tapping out, quitting on your teammates. You go down the list. It's not even a conversation. LeBron James, a great fucking player, but he ain't no Justify. Look, if you guys, I didn't say he's not special. Didn't we kick you out of the chat the other night, Medina? What, do you have a new fucking name now? Did you hear me say he's not fucking special? Exactly, Chance Briggs, like you're the only one smart enough to understand this. I can say a million times I think LeBron is great. He's not the greatest. It doesn't mean I'm slagging and hating on him. Well, if I didn't like you on Friday, I probably don't like you now. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, I don't want to argue about this. It's just, you know, it's like Mario Lemieux. Mario Lemieux was great, but he's not Wayne Gretzky. Now, as far as Justify, yeah, you know why, Brooks? Because unlike LeBron James, Michael Jordan didn't cry and leave teams. Michael Jordan had to go through the process on his own. Not like LeBron James that ran to Miami and then went back to Cleveland and just sort of jumps around like he's going to jump around now, bro. I guess that doesn't mean anything to you. Michael Jordan had to grow up in the NBA and battle from a little puppy into a fucking pit bull. You know, LeBron James is jumping around and, oh, I'm going to take my talents. Last time I checked, Brooks, I don't know. I know I smoke a lot of weed, but was there a Michael Jordan decision show when he was going to join a team and win not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7, 8 championships in a row? I don't remember Michael Jordan ever leaving and bailing on his fucking team. Michael Jordan had to fight. Michael Jordan had to fight the other teams, and he came back for more the next year and said, let's go again. Michael Jordan didn't say, oh, can I join? Can I come join your team? I'm going to go to Miami. Let's go join the New York Knicks with Patrick Ewing. That's why. If you want to use Michael Jordan losing in the playoffs before, well, let's put it in context as to why he lost in the playoffs before. We've had good luck with we've had pretty good luck with Google Hangouts as of late, but I notice it's getting pretty choppy right now. Or at least the video is getting a little choppy. First time that's happened in a little while. All right, so as far as Justify is concerned, Justify wins the Triple Crown, and nobody's taking away anything from Justify. He's a great horse. All right? But the fact of the matter is, it was shady as fuck what happened on Saturday. It was shady as fuck. Bob Baffert, who is the trainer of Justify, was also the trainer of Restoring Hope. All right? Now, Restoring Hope was driven by Florent Giroux, the driver from France, jockey from France. So Florent Giroux was on Restoring Hope. Bob Baffert trains both horses, yet Justify and Restoring Hope are not owned by the same people. Okay, it's just the trainer. So, long story short, Restoring Hope ran interference the entire fucking race. It's embarrassing, actually, when you actually rewatch it now in context that you know what the horse is doing. It's embarrassing. Like just listen, in the history books, when they look at Justify's name, they're not going to say, oh, but, it's not even, the steward could say something and say that it was unethical, but it's impossible to prove the intent of a jockey. It's impossible to prove the intent of the jockey. But the thing is, even Restoring Hope's owner is pissed. After the race, he goes, I don't know what the fuck he was doing. He goes, this guy's running around like a fucking quarter horse. He goes, comes bursting out. He goes, I thought right away, I don't know what the fuck this guy's doing to my horse. All right? So basically, Restoring Hope, the horse, came out and basically went fucking way wide to fucking block horses from Justify on the inside, and then down the stretch, cut back inside to fucking box horses out from Justify again. And he can't deny it. Like there were two of the jockeys right after the race said, it's fucking bullshit what you did. Multiple owners in the race are pissed. Vito Rosso got pissed. If you had Vito Rosso and you bet on him, you got screwed there. Vito Rosso was the one that got boxed out the most, along with one of the horses that I bet and won on Justify. But listen, this shit happens in NASCAR, right? Guys will block each other and they'll draft. And the thing is, in NASCAR, you're actually part of a team. You're individual, but you're part of a team. In horse racing, you're not. Every horse on the track by law is supposed to be trying to win a race. Long story short, Restoring Hope did not try to win the race. Restoring Hope played bodyguard and offensive lineman for Justify. Repeatedly. You can say, okay, once, all right, the jockey made a mistake. No. It was a mile and a half of him blocking people. And it was basically like he did it marvelously. Like, I hope he got a big fat bonus for this. Because if you did it, it's the biggest coincidence in the history of horse racing. And nobody, like, this isn't just conspiracy theorists. Like, the owner of Vito Rosso called them out. Two other jockeys on the track called them out and said that they got boxed in deliberately by Restoring Hope, who wasn't trying to win the race. Restoring Hope's owner, the horse that did this, was pissed. He was like, I never would have hired this fucking driver or jockey if I would have known he was going to do this. I mean, this guy puts all his money into this horse. I know him. I was a horse owner. Costs a lot of money. I can't imagine at this level. And the guy goes to this big stakes race and the fucking jockey's fucking corrupt and has really made a secret deal with another fucking trainer in the barn. Well, I had bacon and eggs today, predictions guy, but normally I don't eat well in the morning. But I'm telling you right now, this goes on all the time. Bovey brought it up last week. These drivers hold horses back and shit. We got played. I got played like a fucking fool in the horse racing industry. Jim Rome of all people, Jim Rome, the talk show host, Jim Rome, the talk show host, tweeted out after, congratulations. And I don't know if you know this, but Jim Rome owns like big time horses, right? Like Jim Rome's got horses in the Kentucky Derby and stuff. Now, Jim Rome had a fucking prize horse in the Santa Anita Derby, and Bob Baffert's horse fucking ran him into the rail and shit. And ruined Jim Rome's fucking Derby hopes. Jim Rome hates Bob Baffert. He thinks Bob Baffert's corrupt and dirty and shit. And so Jim Rome even tweeted after, congratulations to Mike Smith. I'm happy for him. Great guy. That's the jockey. He said, congratulations, Mike Smith. Great guy. I'm happy for him. But he said, damn, do I ever hate Bob Baffert. Like, he's not even hiding it. Like, they're not hiding it. You know, Cam follows horse racing closely. Cam was going off on countless instances where Baffert's horses are fucking around out there and Baffert's getting to other people. Listen, it's like Bill Belichick. You know, he didn't cheat. It's unethical. It's not illegal. Like we said, you can't, if you could prove, if you had a text message and you said, listen, Bob Baffert says, I'm going to pay you fucking Florent Giroux to fucking to do this horse do stupid things on the track, then you got a case. So, but it's impossible to prove the intent. It's like the owner even said of Vito Rosso or of Restoring Hope after, he goes, we'll never fucking know. You don't know what his intent is. We'll never know. Noble Indy are pissed. And that's the horse I bet on. Noble Indy ended up finishing last because he got fucking screwed too. And it turns out when you look at it, it seemed like Justified. They were worried about Noble Indy's speed late. So it was like Restoring Hope fucking ran Vito Rosso into the rail and fucking boxed him in. And then basically set his sights on Noble Indy. He was like a bodyguard out there. Fuck. How about Baffert's kid, that little fucker in the suit and shit like that? Fucking annoying little kid, but I bet on fucking Justify. So the crazy, listen, Justify was probably going to win the race anyways. That's the crazy thing. I personally, I've always thought it was strange that the same owner or the same trainer could have multiple horses on the track at the same time, because it leads to shit like this. But the moral of the story is horse racing is corrupt. It's corrupt at the small level that I was involved in, and it's corrupt at the major level. It's a corrupt, dirty sport. It just is. I hate to fucking say and be like this, but it is. I wouldn't trust anyone in the horse racing industry ever again as far as I could fucking, like, pick them up and carry them. Fuck. And look, you figure that at this level, you figure at that level, at the Triple Crown level, that you wouldn't have this bullshit, but same shit. Fucking Baffert and the other drivers. So maybe it was fucking Mike Smith got to fucking Giroux and said, listen, buddy, you know, help me out here, Triple Crown, you know, wink, wink, I'll hook you up down the road. Who knows what the fuck was said? How this is done, I don't know. I mean, that's the thing. Even the owners aren't in the barn all the time, right? So, like, these fucking drivers and trainers and shit, they're all back there together, man. You don't fucking know, man, what they're doing. I picked 149. Hofberg got boxed in, too. Horse racing is the most corrupt sport. Horse racing. I'd say horse racing is number one and on the corrupt list. Yeah, I say horse racing. Tennis is pretty corrupt. Tennis is pretty corrupt. Soccer is a little, you know, you can't, would be naive to say there's not a little shadiness in soccer, obviously. No, horse racing, because it's you know, it's hard to regulate it. It's hard to regulate it, right? Like, they monitor this shit, but yeah, I'm telling you, man, you're not in the barn before. So basically, put it this way. Let's say you have a horse, like my horse, who's a big favorite and really shouldn't be. So my horse is like a 12-1 favorite, or sorry, like a 1-6 favorite. Suddenly these other horses that shouldn't be 12-1 become 12-1 and 18-1. And then who's to say that the driver doesn't hold the fucking favorite back a bit and the other horses cash tickets at 24-1? And the other driver that's holding back a horse has his fucking brother at the window betting for him. You know, they're all crooked, dude. They're all shady, fuck. I'm telling you, you can't. It's like the banking system or something. You know, walking into this shit, like, I was just naive and stupid, you know, but I realized after how much I got played, and I see now, it's like, whoa, fuck. Like, I'm realizing how I got played even more and more after the fact, just by realizing shit. Like I said, they weren't going to ruin the Triple Crown with the steward. But it's like Cam said today. He's seen other horses get fucked with for a hell of a lot less. But I'm not sitting here saying that Justify isn't the best horse. The motherfucker's 6-0. He won the Triple Crown. Justify's been accused of getting assistance from a stablemate, Restoring Hope, also trained by Bob Baffert, ridden by Florent Giroux. Giroux unexpectedly brought his horse up early and took the first turn notably wide before coming back inside to the rail on the backstretch. And in doing so, blocked basically every contender from getting anywhere near Justify. Mike Riopol, owner of Vito Rosso and Noble Indy, laid the charges against Giroux and Restoring Hope in an interview. It definitely seemed to me he was more of an offensive lineman than a racehorse. And Justify was a running back trying to score a touchdown. John Velasquez, jockey of Vito Rosso, said he felt Giroux rode Restoring Hope in a manner just to protect Justify and not win the race. Why would you send a horse that breaks bad and take everybody out, then come back in? Velasquez, Hall of Fame rider, said. That's his job, I guess, to protect the other horse, and it worked for him. You have to give it to them. Owner of Noble Indy, Riopol, goes, we watched him rush up out of the gate like he was a quarter horse. He made a quick right-hand turn, then he turned left to pin Bravazzo on the rail. He looked like a damn bodyguard, making sure nobody got close to Justify. Gary West, who owns Restoring Hope, was furious with his way his horse was run, but admitted he'll never know Giroux's intent. I have no earthly idea what Florent was thinking or what his strategy was. Had I known better that the first eighth of a mile, I would have thought it was a quarter horse race, not the 1.5 mile Belmont. Maybe the horse was completely out of control and he had no choice. I'll never know. Randy Moss on NBC Sports observed after the race, Restoring Hope are sort of running interference a little bit to keep Noble Indy from getting up there with Justify. But that's fine. It's perfectly legal. Vito Rosso and Noble Indy's owner, Riopol, says after, Justify's a freak. He's a super horse. He's undefeated. It's amazing what he's done. Who knows if he would have won the race anyways? Fact is, we'll never know. Yeah, so it's not just like sour grapes from one guy. You've got multiple drivers, multiple owners, like people, it's, you know, it happened. It is what it is. That's racing. And Bob Baffert's the Bill Belichick of horse racing. You know, he finds a way to win. You know, he ran Jim Rome's fucking horse into the ground. Like, you know, that's what he does. It is what it is. But I guess Bob Baffert is pretty despised in the horse game because of this shit. Hey, Gronkowski, that horse was very impressive. That was the first time he's ever run on dirt. He ran 1.5 miles. And I don't know if you remember the start for him, but he really slowed. He had a horrible start out of the gate. He was he was way behind everyone out of the gate. But if you remember on Friday, I said that you can fuck up once in that race because it's so long. But that's why like Giroux is guilty of this because he fucked up like 3 or 4 times supposedly in the race. It's like the dude was all over the place. He's out, he's in, he's cutting this guy off. I remember watching a race too, and I was like, fucking everyone's boxed in. I didn't realize at the time that it was Restoring Hope doing it deliberately. But he's a motherfucker, Restoring Hope. Like the Giroux's a dickhead. Like he fucking slowed down. Like he did his job, man. I don't know what he got out of this. Oh, yeah, and other news as we look over here, Donald Trump and Kim Jong-un, the 2 dictators of the world are meeting. Not my words, Fox's words. Yeah, watch him. Watch him, Ghoster. I love those like Fox News. Because if CNN or like NBC, MSNBC said that, it would be the end of the world. If Rachel Maddow said, "Oh, it's the meeting of the 2 dictators," but it was on Fox and Friends in the morning. She's like, President Trump and Kim Jong-un prepare for the meeting of the world's 2 biggest dictators. She's really apologizing on, oh, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. He's not a dictator. Listen, they really are perfect to negotiate with each other. Let's be real. Like there's no there was no better person than these 2 to deal with each other, to be honest. They're both nut jobs. They're both egomaniacal nut jobs. Look, they look happy together. The funniest thing is, too, is that Kim Jong-un, they're not going to denuclearize, but they are willing to open a McDonald's. Now, they haven't released this tonight, but that's basically the deal. that you know, they want to move slow on this, but the first step now of good faith is a McDonald's. I'm dead serious. Kim Jong-un wants to get a McDonald's out of this meeting. He wants fucking Trump to allow McDonald's to fucking move to North Korea. I don't really want to talk about this too much, but a realistic situation is basically you can't trust North Korea. They're lying. And number 2, they can tell you that they've gotten rid of shit, but nobody knows what they have. So it's hard to believe somebody that tells you, yeah, we destroyed everything when you don't really know what they have. I saw last night a scientist, that one of the only guy that's ever been in their nuclear facilities before, And he said they have a lot of shit, man. He's like, they don't. He goes, this whole thing that they're doing, that they're giving shit up. He goes, they don't, they're doing this because they're safe now. Evidently, like, they've already perfected shit. And now they're like, okay, we'll stop lobbing missiles, but we're not giving everything up. Because now they have a deterrent, so they can't. If anyone fucks with him, he can fucking blow shit up pretty big now if he wanted. They think that he has 13 nuclear warheads, which is quite a bit. They're not sure. They think that Kim Jong-un could have 13 to 30 nuclear weapons. Not like fucking bombs, but warheads and, all kinds of plutonium fucking type of shit. Whatever. I'm no fucking weapons expert, but that's what they were saying. The low end would be 13. I think he might have 30, but they're saying they don't know, man. Like, they've been secretive forever. So he could just say, listen, I'm going to blow this up in front of you and shit, but you don't know what he really has elsewhere. Hey, what's up, Andreas? Good to see you. Where you been? You been in jail? The only excuse you have for not watching our great show every night is you were either in jail or you were hospitalized. Oh, Mick Kowski in the house. Yeah, you saw that, Mick. And the guy even said, he goes, man, they got like 400 fucking, he goes, they're much more modern than you think as well. He goes, they're not. Basically, like the one guy that's been in there said the perception always was that they had sort of old Russian style shit and rusty fucking, rusty, metal and you know what I mean? And he said he was shocked. He said like it was state of the art, modern shit, all clean. And he was like, holy fuck. But he said he couldn't let North Korea see that. He was shocked. So, and he told North Korea, I don't believe you that you can make your own plutonium. And they wanted to show off to him. And they showed him. They said, oh, yeah, look. And they busted it out. And he still didn't believe it was plutonium because he was like, there's no way that they could do this. And he saw the plutonium and he realized, he's like, holy fuck, they really do have nuclear weapons. Fuck, they do. So that's why they're all nice now. They're stocked. So now they can come to the table and negotiate because if it goes wrong, they can say, all right, whatever, we'll blow South Korea up. Fuck, thanks for negotiating with us. Oh, you stayed at Hooters? What's up, Eric LeDuc? You're back from Vegas. You stayed at Hooters, huh? Yeah, Hooters a good time in Vegas. Good to see you. Glad you got back safely, Eric. Yeah, we'll send Ballard a link in a couple of minutes. We'll get Ballard's take on this LeBron stuff. Well, I got under 8.5, and I knew I should have cashed out earlier in this fucking game. I fucking knew it. In the Chicago-Milwaukee game, but of course, we have to go to extra innings. All right, so the Boston Red Sox. Boston Red Sox pull a Jim Morrison. Break on through to the other side. Red Sox win 2-0. I swear to God, somebody's got to check the fucking podcast today for me. I said today, I think it was at about 6:45 or 6:47 or so, the Cleveland Indians will win 4-0. I should have bet it. Fuck. I did bet the Indians minus -1.5, but I should have bet the exact fucking score, man. I would have paid nice. It's not over yet, but it's in the 9th inning right now. And there's 2 out. So I swear to God, I predicted 4-0 on the radio show today. I said Carrasco's going to shut him out. I picked Carrasco as my DraftKings pitcher of the night, along with Stephen Wright. That's not too bad, huh? The two pitchers I pitched in DraftKings tonight both pitched shutouts. I bet on them both, too. This is where a translation of fantasy research comes into play and gambling research. I didn't want to lay fucking minus 270 with the Cleveland Indians today, but I came to the conclusion that the Indians were not going to hit Carrasco, and I said on the air today, Carrasco will pitch a shutout. My exact words were he'll pitch a shutout, they'll win like 4-0, and he'll have like 10 or 12 strikeouts. Well, it's 4-0, and he's got 11 strikeouts. I said that the Baltimore Orioles will not be able to hit Stephen Wright's knuckleball. He went 5 innings of shutout baseball. Unfortunately for me, my hitters absolutely fucking sucked. I should just give pitching. Like, I'm great at DraftKings pitching for some reason. I can identify the pitchers of the day. I'm fucking horrible at everything else, though. Great picks, fuck. Fucking Francisco Lindor, the Cleveland Indians. Yeah, 4-0 final. $5,000 in shortstop. Motherfuckers, he got 2 fantasy points tonight. But, hey, 3-2 Seattle right now. Seattle's taking a 3-2 lead. Nice job. Man, it's unbelievable. Nelson Cruz. I talked about this today, too. Nelson Cruz just hit a home run again. It's his fourth game in 5 days. Nelson Cruz is fucking unbelievable, man. The Seattle Mariners are just unreal, this team. Gene Segura is hitting like Tony Gwynn. Nelson Cruz is like fucking killing it, man. Oh, it's a bad signing by the Mariners. He won't be able to hit in that park. Would I use? No, I wouldn't use. Would I paint? No. I don't know, man. It goes to show. You look at Trudeau, like, yeah, he's like Uncle Leo with fake eyebrows. But you look at Trudeau, dude. It's the embarrassment of today's modern politics. They're clowns. They melt under the light like clowns. Like, I don't know what the fuck is Donald Trump's fucking hair and his head and shit like that. Fucking Trudeau's fucking gluing on his fucking eyebrows. Trump's gluing his hair on. Like, they're all fake. You know what I mean? Giuliani looks like Uncle Leo, fuck. No, I'll have some U.S. Open picks for you tomorrow. It's a tough one, man, this U.S. Open field coming in. I don't know. I'm looking at Brooks Koepka. Jason Day is a player that I sort of keep coming back to as well. Jason Day. We'll see a prediction. We'll see what predictions. What's up, predictions, guy? But we'll see what predictions that our boy Spenny Mac comes up with his parlays. Oh, is that 5-2 Mariners right now?
His 10th home run. Third home run for Seattle. Now 78 home runs as a team.
I'm telling you, this team's special, guys. Buy it. Buy in. Buy into the Seattle Mariners, man. It's a special team.
Line down his first at-bat to Kinsler. Ball inside the bag. Ready with good speed, will easy to get to second. And Heaney's been unable to record the first out of this fourth inning. 4 consecutive hits. Double for Heredia, his 6th of the year. And here comes Charles Nagy. Stay back on this one and was looking to hit that ball the other way and right down the first base line. And then just playing well off the bag. 6th double a season. Some stretching going on down in the bullpen now. Ramirez getting ready. We showed those numbers that second time through the lineup for Andrew Heaney's career, the first and third time. Second time has struggled this season, this inning, this time around also. Second time through, 5 hits. Second at bats. The hitters for Seattle here tonight against Andrew Heaney. An arch down, a ground down at the second. Nobody out of the fourth. Solo home run by Cruz to lead off this inning. Single by Seager. And Healy, a 2-run shot to left. Cruz are trying to keep Heredia close. Second. Heaney trying to pitch the arch span away to keep him from trying to pull the baseball to the right side of the infield to advance the runner. Three and one. Wheels have fallen off on Andrew Heaney all of a sudden here in the fourth inning. He left the infield base hit in the third inning to Segura. Retired 7 of 8 since the Cruz home run of the first one. This fourth inning's been tough. Zunino on deck, 9th place hitter. 3-1. A walk. So still, nobody out. This is a pretty good indication that they may be going to the bullpen. That long walk out conversation, Maldonado. That'll indeed be it for Andrew Heaney. Pitching change for the Angels. Heaney is done. We're at the fourth. Seattle on top.
Is your truck smart enough for California? It is if it's a Ford F-150 with tech that'll set the perfect mood. Resume playing. That's California smart. Lease F-150 Motor Trend's 2018 Truck of the Year for just $169 a month. Only at your Southern California Ford dealers.
4 straight nights with a teething baby.
3 weeks without a day off.
2 solid months on the road.
One long season after another. Help.
Help.
When your battery's running low, grab a sugar-free, vitamin-packed 5-hour energy. It'll get you back to 100.
What up, Sonny Vega? You're killing it today, Sonny Vega. I saw you laid $500. I saw you. No, I didn't get in on Milwaukee, Kelly, because it was 86.5 by the time I got a chance at it. You won $500 on a no-run bet in the first inning. That's hardcore. Uruguay is going to win that group, Gino. We're going to get to that soccer. We're going to get to soccer soon. Uruguay is winning that group. Uruguay is going to win that group. So the problem is where, with Uruguay is they're going to win the group, but they run into trouble after that. Uruguay would win the group. Let's say Uruguay wins the group, okay? And Spain wins their group. So Portugal would be the second place team. So Uruguay would play Portugal. And if they beat Portugal, they would play France after. Like I said, there's no free passes for anyone in this fucking tournament. I'm starting to get a better grasp of who's going to play who now. Right now, we're going to share some of the parlays we're going to put together. I'm thinking about we put a lot of money, the collective. We got ripped off in the horse racing industry, so we're trying to get our money back in the sports world now. So at least we can salvage something out of this. And we laid it down on the Golden State Warriors, so now we're going to flip it on some of these soccer parlays. And I think there's a few teams we've identified, and I don't even care what the fucking odds are because I'm looking at we want to be safe here. But I think we've identified a few teams that really are not going to advance. But I tell you what, there's a couple of upstarts that I'm starting to I know Big Man on campus, and Big Man will be with us before the World Cup. Maybe on Wednesday Babano will be with us. Maybe tomorrow we'll bring Big Man on if he's free. He's going to be with us on the radio tomorrow. But I know Big Man sort of discounts Iceland all the time. I'm not going to discount Iceland. I'm telling you, man, the Icelanders, what are the Icelandics? The Icelanders, they can fucking play. They're a fucking load to deal with, this team. And I see we got Mick Aussie in the chat. I'm thinking that Australia are not going to be an easy out either. Belgium have looked really good, Gino. But the problem with Belgium is as they go forward, it doesn't get easy for them. Now it gets tough. Listen, they have an easier match. Let's say Belgium wins the group. They win the group. They're probably going to play against Poland or Colombia after that. Winnable game for Belgium against Colombia or Poland. But they run into Brazil after that. In the quarterfinals, they will face either Colombia or Poland, most likely. The one or the two team coming out of that fucking that group. And if they win that game, which they probably would, they would have to play Brazil. Ugh. Not an easy path. Not an easy path for the Belgians. It is cosmetically at first, but then the shit hits the fan, and you got to play the Brazilians. Can Belgium beat Brazil? It is on European soil. All right. We haven't checked in with the Sports Rage band yet tonight. The Monday Night Meltdown continues on the sportsbookreview.com YouTube page. As the Seattle Mariners lead the Angels 5-2 after 4 innings of play. Let's bring in Craig Ballard, an old friend.
Yes, sir.
Who I do not believe has a lot to say about the World Cup, but he does have something to say about LeBron James.
Well, and, I mean, let's hear it for the house band first and foremost. Let's give it up for Paul Schaefer and the house band here.
Yeah, the house band is great.
And no, not a lot to say about the World Cup.
The house band, our pianist is a little bit, he's emotional tonight.
He's got to prime the pump. Has he got one of those big cognac glasses on the top for the tips? He's got to put some of his own in there. Get it going.
Yeah, I know. I think he's been drinking a bit. He's like Sonny Vegas. He's got too much money on games. He's freaking out right now. And then it's like he's Sonny Vegas in the chat, like asking people to lend him money.
I saw that.
Sonny. Call Gamblers Anonymous. Maybe we'll give if Sonny's around later, maybe we'll give him the Gamblers Anonymous test. So Craig, how you doing, buddy? And why don't you introduce yourself? So Craig, I used to do a show on Morency Sports when we had the website in the old days.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you've had a lot of websites, your own websites over the years, but now you're focusing in on you got a new project. So tell us about the tight coverage stuff you do.
I appreciate it, Gabe. Always good to be on. As you know, certainly want to shout out your SBR people. Loving the job. Big EMOC, all these guys. Bovano, loving these guys. Loving the work you guys are doing. I myself happy to be what I would say back in the game. At tight_coverage is the project I'm working on. Two friends of mine sort of got that going and brought me in, and at a time where, you know me, Gabe, my juices are flowing, and I got the bug for this sort of thing. So many things were happening in the sports world that I wanted to have a voice on. So the timing was just right, and it's been about 3-4 months, and I'm loving being back. Absolutely.
All right, good stuff. So we're talking about LeBron James, and we see the reports that his kid is enrolled to play high school basketball, to live in the Los Angeles, California area. So a lot of people just sort of think that, well, this sort of cements it. He's going to Los Angeles. Is it that simple? I don't know, but one thing that we can't deny, I think the Lakers have they have better young talent than I think people are giving them credit for. I think a lot of people think that, the Lakers will suck. There's no way he's going to go there. But, word is they might have Randall on the block because they can't keep everybody if they bring Paul George in here, just from a basketball standpoint. But you got Brandon Ingram, you've got Randall, you've got Kuzma. Lonzo Ball to me is just sort of a sideshow, but if you had Lonzo coming off the bench, that's not bad, actually, as a backup point guard. there is talent there, and they have room for LeBron and Paul George. And we know that LeBron and Paul George have wanted to play together before. So to me, it's actually starting to fall into place that I do believe he'll be a Laker.
I'm right there with you, Gabe. I've been there for a while myself. Personally, the Bronny in high school news today, he was going there regardless. This is the place you send your kids when they're going to be at that level. Kenyon Martin's son's there right now. Dwayne Wade's son is there right now. That's a small bit of smoke. The bigger smoke is them buying the second house in LA. His wife is there now. They're building it into a compound, same as they did in Cleveland, so all the people could live with them. His production company with his best friend Maverick Carter's in LA. And the on-court, like you mentioned, Gabe, that young core, I think LeBron looks at that young core and sees, I'll have to do a lot of the heavy lifting now. That's why that second max contract is so important. But how about LeBron thinking on the way out, when he could be more of a role player, Gabe, this nucleus, the Brandon Ingram nucleus, may be ready to give him 1 or 2 championships as a role-type player on his way out the door, if he's thinking legacy.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. Like, the Lakers aren't winning a title this year if they go there, but if Paul George goes there with LeBron, they're obviously a playoff team suddenly, and they're not an easy out in the playoffs. And, you know, they don't beat the Golden State Warriors right away, but the Lakers are a great brand, as you know, Craig, and you know, once LeBron's there, look, LeBron couldn't get stars to go to play in Cleveland. Now, I don't know if it's because of the weather so much or it's because of LeBron, but the Lakers are a different breed than the Cleveland Cavaliers. And whenever the Lakers are good, even when Kobe was there and Kobe was kind of an asshole, people still sign there. People still wanted to be part of it because it's Los Angeles. It's a great place to live if you're a celebrity and you're rich. And it's the, you know, you have the Boston Celtics and the Lakers, man. You know, like, I just can picture LeBron James. I've always thought LeBron James is more like Magic Johnson and Michael Jordan anyway. So it makes sense that he would follow in Magic Johnson's footsteps here and sort of be the new Magic Johnson.
Yeah, I remember seeing Kobe Bryant on that what was that show, that ESPN guy that got fired and Jalen Rose had? But anyway, they had Kobe Bryant on, and one of the questions that was asked was, did you do anything differently with how you interacted with Dwight Howard? And Kobe said, not a thing. He said, you have to understand, if you cut me right now, I would bleed purple and gold. And that's how it is to embrace being a Laker. You have to have a certain type of DNA, Kobe talked about, to be a Laker. And Dwight Howard didn't have it. Dwight Howard's more concerned with you liking him, you thinking he's funny, all that stuff. Not the winning Laker mentality. LeBron James would embrace that.
Bother Kobe Bryant if LeBron James is a Laker.
Like, I think he's the exact opposite, Gabe. I think he'll be a part of the recruitment, in fact.
No, I think, you know, I don't think, you know, to Kobe, because of that, LeBron's legacy gets attached to the Lakers suddenly, right? And suddenly is LeBron. I mean, there's a debate now, Craig, who the best Laker player is. Already,
not according to Magic Johnson.
Yeah, well, what's he gonna say? Magic's a fucking he's a diplomat. You know, he should be a part.
For me, he is. For me, Magic's the GOAT anyway. But okay.
Yeah, well, all right. Well, I don't know. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is arguably one of the greatest players ever to play the fucking game.
No,
Jerry West is the only guy to win the fucking MVP and lose the finals. I mean, you honestly have Jerry West, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Magic Johnson, Kobe Bryant. You know,
that's it right there, Gabe. They want the next one. They want that legacy to continue. I think Kobe will be all over this. And it's not perfect. LeBron and Paul George is not perfect because it does mean renouncing Julius Randle. And we know LeBron's not going to take a pay cut. So if anyone's going to take a hometown discount, the Lakers need Paul George to literally, because he's from there, take a hometown discount. That's the only way to have it be really nice where Julius Randle can stay. I'm loving Julius Randle. I'm bummed to see him go, to be honest with you.
Randle
is going to be very lucky to pick him up.
Brandon Ingram is good. I like Brandon Ingram, but Randle is the only guy there in the last couple of years. Ingram just sort of got there, so I'm not going to pin the Lakers sort of crappiness for the last couple of years on him. But I watch all the Laker games. Randle is the only guy that used to try hard. You know what I mean?
Up and down the court.
When they would mail it in and shit, he never mailed it in. Like, he always tries hard. And this past year, as I know, doing a DraftKings show every day, he's a fucking monster, man, this kid, statistically. Like Randle is a fucking good player. The thing with Randle is he misses a million easy shots. Like, he'll be under the basket and it'll take him like 3 attempts to put it back in. And you know, but he works so hard and he's so good. He's a hell of a player, this kid. Like, to me, but I've heard murmurs for a couple of weeks now that they're going to trade him because they can't keep everyone. And from a basketball standpoint, there's no room for him if they bring Paul George and LeBron in.
Yeah, that's what's. I mean, if you're a fan, like it sounds like you and I are, that's what makes this marriage not perfect. Because I don't know what the Lakers will have down low now. Brook Lopez is gone. Caldwell Pope is gone. So a lot of those contracts are off the books. I really don't know what they're going to have down low. I love Ivica Zubac, but he's probably several years away from, at least a couple of years away from contributing. So that
they got to keep
I'm very concerned.
Yeah, if they losing Randall's big. Like, as you said,
I think it's big.
Brings to the table, they need him. You know, Ingram's
done everything they've asked him to do. They told Randall. They told the whole team 8% or less body fat coming back. Randall had the most to lose in the offseason. You saw the work he put in the offseason. He got in amazing shape. He's done everything the team has asked. He begrudgingly, sure, but he accepted a role off the bench. He contributed, earned the starting role back. I don't know. I would love to see Pelinka and Magic work out a scenario where he does stay, even if it's at the expense of somebody else. Not an Ingram. I saw a lot of people in your chat earlier looking for Ingram to be traded to get rid of Lil Deng's contract. I don't want any part of that. I'm a big fan of Brandon Ingram's upside. This guy's still a kid.
No, Brandon Ingram's very, very. He's fucking good. There's no. I'm not disputing that. Let's see. I'm just looking for something here. NBA futures. Oh, look at this book here. I got it. I got some lines here for this. So, all right. So, LeBron James. Here are the odds. Here's some odds here. Where will LeBron James be next year? Now, the Philadelphia 76ers are still one of the co-favorites here. LA Lakers plus 300. Philadelphia 76ers plus 320. Cleveland Cavaliers minus 150, which I'm actually very surprised about. Houston Rockets plus 350. Golden State Warriors 10-1. LA Clippers 12-1. Miami Heat 16-1. Milwaukee Bucks 17-1. He going to Milwaukee, fuck. New York Knicks 8-1. Somebody else brought up the Knicks the other night as a dark horse, but I'm not seeing it. Do you?
I just don't see how they could surround him with the talent. This is going to be his last contract. I mean, really, he's going to opt into this contract and accept the trade, and then at the end of the year sign one more contract. But this is his last part of his window of the greatness that we've seen. I can't see the Knicks surrounding him with enough there at all. What I love is I love if he goes to New York. Imagine if he does bring a championship there, then for his legacy, you could never tell a New Yorker who already hates Michael Jordan, you can never tell a New Yorker that Bron isn't the greatest now. So legacy-wise, I love it. But how are they going to make it happen, Gabe? What's out there for the Knicks to add?
To me, he's not going to the Knicks either. But from a marketing standpoint, like from a legacy standpoint, as you stated, if he brought a championship to Cleveland and then brought a championship to New York too, that'd be hard to
no doubt.
Hard to because that's what I'm saying. He goes to the Lakers. It's not really him. You know what I mean? It is, but the Lakers are bigger than him. So he just sort of adds to another banner up there that they already have. But I think he's looking for a combination of both things. Being happy in life, building his brand and his businesses, and having a chance to win. And it seems like the Lakers provide all of that. Unless, Craig, and I brought it up earlier, and I know that, you know, I can't see him stiffing Magic Johnson. And
I love that point.
Clippers.
I thought when you brought that up, because I've been scared of the Clippers the whole time because of the previous one you said, but Ballmer can just make it rain.
It's not insanity. Like Steve Ballmer is a billionaire.
That's it.
Multi-billionaire. And also Steve Ballmer is one of the co-founders of Microsoft. So it's not like Ballmer can't help LeBron in a business standpoint either. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like Ballmer could share a lot of business knowledge with him about how to get even richer than even Magic isn't on the level of Ballmer. So let's say Ballmer says, listen, fuck, I'll help you out with the businesses. We'll invest this. We'll do this. And I'll give you an ownership of the team as well. And you can bring your buddy Paul George in. And we got salary cap room for someone else if you want. Like, it's not out of the realm of possibility.
It's certainly going to be tried by it, and he'll throw in Boogie Cousins. I mean, he will spare no expense. That's if you're the Clippers, you got to love an owner. It's the same as similar to Cuban. The owners who use their teams as toys, they make their money in other industries, so they know they're totally set. They're fine, and they love spending their money on their toy, which is their team. Steve Ballmer will do that. I'm totally afraid of the Clippers coming in here, but I love the point that would LeBron do that to Magic Johnson? That's probably the get-out-of-jail-free card for Lakers fans.
It is. The Clippers just don't have that tie. You know what I mean? And they don't have that same brand. And I can't picture LeBron in a Clipper jersey. I really can picture him in a Laker jersey.
Well, the Clippers is 2 years too late because if his best friend, if his BFF Chris Paul, one of the big reasons people think he'll go to Houston, if he was still there, now it's even scarier that he would go to the Clippers. But that's not even the case. It's a team that's rebuilding. You're right. Ballmer's the only threat there to shake up the NBA. But no, I don't think he's going to the Clippers. I'm for a while, ever since that Isaiah Thomas trade and the Lakers opened up that second max slot, I totally 1,000%. Now LeBron can choose the Robin to his Batman. I absolutely thought it was going to be the Lakers.
He's going to the Lakers.
I think so.
He's going to go to the Lakers. I thought Houston, but ultimately, if you really think about it, if you're LeBron, and you just mentioned it, Craig, is that LeBron's thinking about the long term here. How old's LeBron now? 33?
Exactly.
Yeah, so he's 33. So let's put this in a 5-year context here. So what, LeBron goes to Houston, and then what? Chris Paul's fucking getting hurt and old and never wins anyways. James Harden's a flake, and LeBron knows this. LeBron knows he's a great player, but LeBron's not dumb. LeBron also knows that Harden drinks all night and bangs Instagram models all the time.
So would we.
It's a short window. You know what I mean? Yeah, maybe in 1 year they could beat him next year, but long term, then what? Then I'm stuck in Houston. Like you said, the Lakers provide upside that they're good now. They would be good right away, yet they're only going to get better. Like Ingram's only going to get better. And if LeBron is there and Paul George is there, that'll attract other players to go on and be part of that as well. Now, what about the Lonzo Ball factor here? Because Lonzo Ball is not a shooting point guard. Like the only thing Lonzo can do is pass the ball. Yet LeBron James isn't an off guard. LeBron James is a point guard, but he has the ball in his hand all the time. It doesn't work. So you would have to have Lonzo Ball coming off the bench, which I really don't have a problem with. I think he would thrive actually as a sixth man coming off the bench.
Well, I like that idea. Is the reason I love Lonzo Ball. The ball's out of his hands right away, Gabe. His basketball IQ, he wants to facilitate. Saw Ron Artest talk Meta World Peace, or talking the other day that players in their prime are going to want to play with Lonzo Ball. He's only interested in getting you yours. He's only interested in distributing. Isaiah Thomas talking about he's already playing NBA-ready defense. I think you and I disagree on Lonzo as much as anything we've ever disagreed with, Gabe. I'm a big fan of Lonzo. I think he has a major future in this league. You're right on the money with the shooting. Undeniable. But A, that could be fixed. And people keep telling me his upside isn't Magic Johnson. It's Jason Kidd. In what bizarre world is that a problem, Gabe? I will sign up for that now.
Enough of talking about upside. How about he actually does it?
He was outstanding facilitating, and he was outstanding on defense. He's already got two of the aspects doing really, really well. Remember, LeBron went to see him in Summer League. LeBron was very fond of this kid, and every time they talked at the end of games, remember, LeBron was always covering his mouth so that the media couldn't see what he was saying. Now, I'm not saying they were orchestrating we're coming together, but I bet you cash money LeBron was being specific about things to work on.
Lonzo's going to have to take this shit more seriously, bro, if he's want to take it to another level, though.
Now, I don't disagree with.
Yeah, like him he's got talent. I'm not disputing it. And he's got great vision. He's a great passer. And you're right, his defense was better than I gave him credit for. But that body frame, the lack of work, there's a reason why he always got hurt. It's unacceptable, his shot. It's not good enough. It's not NBA quality. I wonder about the work ethic with this kid. But being around these other guys will help him more, right? I mean, that's the thing. I mean, Alonzo Ball's such a kid, so the jury's still out on him. I'm not burying him. I'm not burying him. But, to me, the Lakers were a better team without Lonzo. I mean, it's strange because Lonzo Ball was a good facilitator. And he wasn't as much of a liability on defense. He was early, but he got better on defense. But we can't, like, what do you explain that the Lakers played better without him, Chris? They just did. Like when Lonzo Ball got hurt, they went on a 12-2 fucking run without him.
That was the Kyle Kuzma coming out party. He just took things over and just announced, would you believe I'm actually the best Laker draft pick this year? It wasn't even Lonzo. It was actually me at number 27. So I don't disagree with a lot of the things you're saying, Gabe. I just think going forward, I'm way more convinced in his upside. And so many young players, when they grow up being told how great they are, we know what a jackass Lamar is, being told how great they are, they think they are the best option coming down the court on offense, and they force things or at least hold the ball too long. Lonzo never does that, and I'm just such a fan of his basketball IQ at his child, to be honest with you, age. I think he's got a huge future. I think LeBron wants to play with Lonzo. I really do.
All right, okay. So the Toronto Raptors former coach Dwayne Casey gets the Detroit Pistons job, and I think it's a perfect fit for him. I think it's a perfect fit for the team. As it's just one of those. Dwayne Casey, perfect for the city of Detroit. Can get a team into the playoffs. We've seen like he's capable. He can win, 48, 50 games with the guys with that type of roster, 45 games or whatever. He'll have the respect of a Drummond, of a Griffin. He'll have the players' respect. It's a good hire for the Detroit Pistons.
I like that a lot. Yeah, everything you just mentioned there. I think we're going to see Blake Griffin take things to a new level. You talk about Lonzo Ball's work ethic, and I know Blake Griffin's in great shape and things like that, but I've often wondered about that from him as well. I don't see a lot of progression in his game, a lot of desire to just be about winning. Dwayne Casey, I think, is going to help with that. And that cupboard is not bare in Detroit. That's not a playoff team, but that cupboard's not bare. I mean, Reggie Bullock is good. Jackson is good. They've got some guys there. Of course, up front with Griffin and Drummond.
Those guys, the point guards are the issue. They're inconsistent. Reggie Jackson will have a good game, but you can't win with Reggie Jackson. That's a problem.
Didn't you just describe Kyle Lowry once he got under Dwayne Casey's wing?
That's a very good point. Very good point.
So I like that a lot. I like the hire. I love how you're comparing it to the city. I like that a lot too. I think he's going to fit in real well. Listen, everybody here loved Dwayne Casey. That was never the problem. It was, I think, that his message had lost the room. To be honest with you, I agreed with moving on. I'm a little concerned about where they're moving on to, because everyone I wanted them to hire has been scooped up at this point, to be honest with you. So we'll see how that turns out. But I'm right there. Great hire, Dwayne Casey in the business.
So as far as the Raptors are concerned right now, I always thought that Nick Nurse had an inside track to this. Now, what's interesting about this is that Masai Ujiri has never hired a head coach before, Craig.
Mm-hmm. But he's fired 2 Coach of the Years.
Yeah, that's fucking right. He inherited George Karl. Karl wins the Coach of the Year, and he fires him. And then he leaves. He never even hires anyone. He's gone after.
Right. That's right.
And then he leaves. And then with the Raptors, he never hired Dwayne Casey. Casey was already here. So he's never actually hired a coach, and I'll tell you what, it looks like it shows because he still hasn't hired a fucking coach. Is he aware that he needs to hire a coach, Craig?
Jeez. The biggest thing, too, how quickly the Casey decision was made led me to believe that Masai's already been sleeping on this. Masai already had wheels in motion. He already had an idea. That was ages ago now. And the delay has cost us Jerry Stackhouse. Anywhere in the organization, we wouldn't even have Jerry Stackhouse anymore. Masai committed all that time and energy to him. We don't even have him anymore.
Yeah. It's either going to be Nurse or it's going to be the Messina dude.
Yeah, I hope it's Nurse at this point.
I think it's going to be the Messina personally, but I don't know. If it was going to be Stackhouse, it would have been Stackhouse, right? It's not. I mean, they've hesitated with this for one reason or another. To me, listen, that Messina guy, he's won before in the Euro leagues. Mm-hmm. He has that international vision that Masai likes. He's a San Antonio Spur guy. Quite frankly, I don't know what's taking so long to make the hire, actually, to be honest, because I think that's who it's going to be.
Well, what do we see in the NFL all the time? Everybody plucks from Bill Belichick's tree. We see this in coaching all the time. So absolutely, I'm okay with plucking from the Greg Popovich tree. And they've been together certainly long enough where some good habits have worn off. And as you say, the international game as well, which is so much more wide open, which is where the NBA is going now. You don't even ask your big men to go in the paint anymore. You're asking your bigs to shoot threes all the time. That's way more up that coach's alley. So Nurse, the reason I like Nurse is there won't be any hero ball. The Raptors really resorted back to that hero ball when they faced adversity again this year, especially in the playoffs. Nurse will fix that. He'll put in a better offensive system. He'll give a little more structure to that offense. And that's the only reason I'm excited about Nurse, because the rest you think is a very similar message to what Dwayne Casey was telling.
So, yeah, Messina supposedly is close. It's either Messina or Nick Nurse. I think Messina is actually the front runner on this right now because of the experience factor and sort of a fresh perspective coming in here. Messina joined San Antonio staff in 2014, became lead assistant. Brief stint as an interim coach in the 2018 playoffs after Popovich's wife passed away. Prior to this, Messina was the head coach of Russia's CSK Moscow twice, Italy's national team, and assistant with the LA Lakers. He has over 2 decades of coaching experience. As I stated, I know he's won the Euro League a couple of times too as a head coach. Like CSK Moscow is a good basketball program over there.
Yeah. So if you're bringing in somebody from a completely different organization, does that mean you're bringing in somebody from a completely different organization to coach a completely different roster? So is there really going to be a Lowry trade? Is there really going to be a DeRozan trade? I would love to see an Ibaka trade.
Well, supposedly there's a rumor that Masai wanted to trade DeRozan before.
That was incredible. When I found that out, that was a major game changer. Masai was already willing to test the waters and gauge the trade market.
It was to the Knicks.
Oh, I didn't hear it went that far. Oh, I thought
supposedly Masai Ujiri was like willing, like had a deal, like wanted to trade DeMar DeRozan to the Knicks last summer. And you look last year after the playoffs when Masai Ujiri was pissed off and he said we need to fucking change the way we play.
Yeah.
He was bitching about DeMar DeRozan. And then this year, there was a report, remember, Craig, that after the Cleveland game that we choked away, that we let LeBron walk the ball up the court. I guess fucking that's when Masai lost it. And he went into the room after, and he could be heard yelling at Casey. Like, what the fuck? How do we fucking not double team LeBron James? How did he walk the ball up the fucking floor? And basically, I guess Masai Ujiri was heard fucking ripping DeMar DeRozan. Basically stating that, you know what, like fucking, you know, DeMar's a fucking train wreck. I fucking told you to fucking, and basically he was blaming Casey about DeRozan. And so then you hear after that, you know what, he actually came close to trading DeRozan before. That there's definitely something there. That Masai Ujiri's not a massive DeRozan fan, but DeRozan scores a lot of points, so Masai's got to chill the fuck out. Like, as far as I'm concerned, DeMar DeRozan's better at his job than Masai is. So Masai Ujiri's very overrated, all right? I like him. I'm not criticizing him, but he was made out to be this fucking savior when he really hasn't done very much. Been a couple of tweaks here and there, but, you know, he hasn't done a whole shitload. So let's not anoint him the greatest GM ever yet. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Masai walked in the door and traded the untradeable contract of Rudy Gay and the untradeable contract of Andrea Bargnani within 2
Sorry,
weeks.
Craig, I just cannot fucking believe I didn't cash out. This fucking game was 2-0. It was 2-0 in the 9th inning. Or it's 2-2. And I end up losing a total at 7-2. That's fucking unbelievable, man. Fucking baseball. From now on, anytime I just get up, I'm just cashing out with his bullshit. That's fucking frustrating. It was a good bet, man. It was a good bet. It was fucking 2-2, 2-0 all fucking night, and I ended up losing a fucking bet. Unbelievable, bro.
Oh, the Cubs game, I just saw a 5 in the 11th. What the hell? And they're still batting even. Yikes.
Unfucking real. Yeah. No. They can't be fucking trading. We just fucking fired Casey. We need to chill the fuck out here. I'm not even sure firing Casey was the right thing after all this. Like, you know, I'm a little worried here with what Masai has going on in his head because, you know, Masai Ujiri was also the one that just gave Serge Ibaka all that fucking money too. And so, you know, he's, you know, Fred VanVleet can't. I don't want to talk about the Raptors too much here, but do you think that something will happen besides the coach? Like, you think the Raptors make a splash and surprise us and sign somebody? I want them to get DeMarcus Cousins, but we can't do it unless we get rid of Ibaka.
Exactly. Now that's the thing. That's what has to happen. Is it has to be a big splash. They are way up against the cap. They're up against the luxury tax. I mean, there's no room. The only tradable contracts are Norman Powell and C.J. Miles. They're both about $9 million each. The bench mob is awesome.
You're talking about, oh, DeMar's a choker, DeMar's this and that. DeMar DeRozan's a great player. DeMar DeRozan isn't going to lead you a championship. The Raptors aren't going to get better by getting rid of DeMar DeRozan. They need to help DeMar DeRozan. That's the whole point.
I'm right there.
Multiple players.
I like DeMar.
Yeah, DeMar DeRozan's fine. He's just not like the guy. Like, we need another guy in here. Like, it's pretty evident. We don't have a big three. You know what I mean? JV's not it. Lowry's not the same player. He's still good, but we need DeMarcus Cousins. The Raptors need DeMarcus Cousins. I tell you, Anunoby's a fucking good player. OG's really good. So he's only going to get better. I think he'll be a star, actually, in a couple of years. He'll be like a Draymond Green type, but they need another superstar. Not a star. The Raptors need a superstar.
You remember, I see DeRozan like Chris Bosh. See, Chris Bosh was an all-star player, but he needed to go to Miami and be the third in the big three.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's how I sort of see the DeRozan scenario here as well. If there's any trade to make, I wouldn't mind seeing Lowry. If it's something significant, believe me, I'm not looking to give anyone away. If there's something significant, if they can move on from C.J. Miles or Powell, I would love it. The problem with the bench, we love the bench mob, but they're all rookies. They all make nothing, so there's no trade value.
I'm a Kyle Lowry fan, but if someone would go between them, you know what I mean? It's not DeMar. DeMar's like, you're not getting rid of DeMar DeRozan. You know, DeMar DeRozan's fucking good. Like, people just pick on him too much. And, you know, it's hard to feast a top 5 scorer in the NBA, like, for 2 years in a row. It's not by accident. It's not lucky. So he's fucking good. But let's just be real, Craig. It's 2 more years of this. The Raptors, we're sort of speaking freely. Oh, if they do this and they do that, they're not going to. Their roster is pretty much locked in for 2 years. You know, maybe they'll do a tweak or a trade here or there, but essentially, Kyle Lowry signed a 3-year deal. DeMar DeRozan signed the fucking the 5-year. Nice. Their contracts both up at the same time, or the 4 years. So they're both up after 2020. So it's 2018. No, 2019. So this year and then next year. So 2 more years, and then basically the Raptors won't even have Kyle Lowry, DeMar DeRozan. They'll be free agents and shit, you know?
That's why I don't think Masai's going to let it get there. I won't be surprised if there's a splash at all, Gabe. My mind really got turned when we found out, like you said, that he was willing to test the trade market for DeMar last year. That really blew my mind. I thought Masai was way more in step with DeMar. And the Raptors will have a replacement for DeMar. You can give VanVleet Lowry's minutes. You can address the point guard spot. There's not an improvement for moving DeMar DeRozan. If they could get DeMarcus Cousins, I mean, like, Gabe, the question is, how do you make that happen? But I'm a huge Boogie Cousins fan, massive. For me, I want Plan B for the Lakers to be Paul George and Boogie Cousins if LeBron, for whatever reason, doesn't go there.
If you had JV, Boogie Cousins, Kyle Lowry, DeMar DeRozan, and Anunoby out there, you're battling. Like, you're a load to deal with.
That bench? Absolutely.
Like, yeah, you're a load to deal with. Suddenly, Boogie Cousins is the man. You feed him in the paint and shit. You let him do his bully thing. DeMar can float around and hit some spot jumpers. Kyle, a little bit of leadership. JV can sort of become what he wants and just more of an offensive guy, not worry about getting fucking fooled in the paint and fucking cross it and switch overs and shit, which he doesn't seem to understand after all these years still. So, but the thing is, in the NBA, there's hope for this. Because the NBA is the only league, Craig, where teams will take shitty contracts. Like a team like the Brooklyn Nets, they're fucked. They need to spend the money. Like they no one will sign there, so they're screwed. And they don't have a choice. Like, they need to spend the money with the cap rules and shit. So we need to isolate that. And, like, you know what I mean? Maybe fucking Ibaka goes back to Orlando or Brooklyn and we can pawn him off on them. Fuck.
You know what's funny is I think Ibaka back to Oklahoma City makes a lot of sense, to be honest with you. I think him going back with Westbrook, he knows what that animal is like. He knows what it's like to play with Westbrook. I've always thought that should be the spot. But what hurts, Gabe, is everything you're describing is a miracle, like you said, to improve this team. When I hate that a miracle is needed. This was the year. I'm so bummed that things didn't work out this year. This was the season for the Toronto Raptors.
It could have been us getting swept by the Warriors.
I would have taken it. I would have taken it, Gabe. Would you have taken that? Would you have taken that?
Yeah.
If it would have meant getting by LeBron and the Cavs, I would have taken that, honest to God.
Yeah, me too. The whole thing, the Raptors' victory for me would have been just getting into the finals and losing to Golden State. But trust me, I don't want to relive it.
I know you took it hard too. Me too, bro. Oh my God. By the way, I love what you said earlier about this Mariners team. Nobody's talking about that trade game that they picked. Not just the Segura and Haniger trade. The one the other day, Colomé and Denard Span from Tampa Bay. Oh, that's nice depth. Picking up Colomé for nothing. That's nice depth.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. Dude, if you look at the American League, Craig, there's not a lot of drama, bro, for the playoffs here. Like there really isn't. Look at the American League East, Boston and New York. Dude, the Baltimore Orioles are 26 games out. The Toronto Blue Jays are 15 games out. Like fucking, there's no drama. All right, so Boston and New York are running away with it. They're going to be the AL Central sucks. The Indians are going to win the Central. No one's a wild card out of that division. No. And then basically you've got the Seattle and Houston. So essentially, short of the Angels sort of flirting around here, and they're getting hurt. They always get hurt. Dude, it's basically we know who the playoffs are almost in the American League. It's New York, Boston, Cleveland, Houston, and Seattle. And the question is, does Seattle or Houston win a division?
I saw somebody in your chat, Jay, either Sandra Cock or Sandra Cook, and he was saying he was an Orioles fan, and my heart just went out to this guy. I can't even believe. Now, ironically, Gabe, in what, about 4 or 5 weeks, the Orioles are going to be the most relevant team in baseball because Adam Jones is going to be traded, Machado's going to be traded, Britton, Brock. Like the whole landscape of the game is going to change. But even with that said,
I bet you they get better.
The landscape of the American League.
I bet you they get better. It'll be one of these weird deals.
Sometimes, yeah.
They'll be like, look, they're 19-46 now, or 19-47, whatever. And like, how bad are they going to be if they don't have Manny Machado and they don't have fucking Adam Jones and they don't have Chris Davis or whatever? It's like, I don't know. They can't be any worse. You know what I mean?
Remember the run the Raptors went on? Taking it back to the Raptors. Remember the run the Raptors went on when they traded Rudy Gay?
Yeah,
that was fun. They traded their only All-Star. They traded Rudy Gay, and they started winning games.
I know. That was Masai's one move that he worked, right? Somehow he was a genius for that. Getting rid of Rudy Gay made Masai look like a genius somehow, and the Raptors got good without Rudy Gay. But, it's always like that, though. There's always sort of, look, I was talking about it earlier, like Paul George. There's odds for Paul George where Paul George will go to. Lakers, -200 for Paul George.
Wow.
So he's the overwhelming favorite. Look, Oklahoma City is +360 to re-sign him. So Paul George, -200 to go to Lakers. To me, Paul George is overrated too, right? There's these guys that are overrated.
I can't go so far as to say Paul George is a superstar. I really can't. And you know what, Gabe? You know what the funny thing is? I can't put my finger on it. Like, what is the problem? I can't put my finger on it.
Look, so my point was, a great example is, look at Paul George leaves the Pacers. They didn't miss a beat. They got better. You see, they together more as a team. They got along. They were like, good. He's gone. Fuck, right? And suddenly,
the chemistry definitely improved. Yes.
Yeah. So even in baseball, whatever. Baltimore trades everyone. A bunch of kids come up, and they can't lose any more than these fuckers are losing, and you're paying these guys all the money.
I'm hoping Buck Showalter leaves. I would love to have him in Toronto. I'll tell you that. I'm still a Showalter fan, even though these guys suck this year.
You're a big Blue Jays guy. So what about Josh Donaldson? He's a free agent, and you can't imagine that the Blue Jays, with the way that they've operated recently in a new administration, are going to re-sign him.
Definitely not. No.
No. So, and the thing is, Donaldson, he's a little beat up now, but he's still going to want to get paid some significant fucking money. He's a former MVP. And they knew they were going to trade him and not redo up. We all knew this. It sort of blew up when they spoke at Dundee in there. Mm-hmm. And now it seems to me that his value is sort of plummeting all the time with these dead arm injuries and new injuries. He's always fucking hurt. So what's the deal? Are they going to trade? Is Donaldson going to get traded in the next couple of weeks?
See, I think it's going to go. I think the Jays are completely content to have it go the Encarnacion and what they hope would be the Bautista route. They'll give him the qualifying offer. They'll take the compensation, which I believe is a first-round pick. There was talk of that changing, but if it's still a first-round pick as compensation, forget it. The Jays are all over. And now that means the return package for Donaldson has to be more than a first-round pick. For a rent-a-player playing like Donaldson, Gabe, if you're going to pony up more than a first-round pick for Donaldson, then you're going to go chase Machado. And if you don't want to give up, what's that?
That's the thing. Like Josh Donaldson, it's crazy. Like last year at this time, or even in the offseason, he was fucking worth a lot more. Like I don't like the way Shapiro handled this and Atkins handled this, to be honest.
Well, and Gabe, if you want a dirt cheap third baseman, you go get Moustakas out of Kansas City. They're all rentals, and Josh Donaldson fits in the middle. So how are they going to trade this guy? I don't see it happening. And I certainly don't see, like you said, the big re-up coming. We would have heard something about the re-up. It was such a miserable season. That would have been the PR move to save the season from a Blue Jay standpoint, from a fan standpoint. If they were going to re-up with Josh, they would have said, this season, but don't worry, here's our guy. Bring your rain, here's our guy. But no way, he's finished as a Blue Jay.
Yeah. All right, we'll wrap it up with this. So Vladimir Guerrero Jr., now he's out for 4 weeks. I don't know where you stood on this. I was telling people not to call. People were like, oh, you got to call him up because he hits a couple of home runs and A-ball. Fuck. It's like, chill the fuck out, man. He's a fucking kid. All right? There's a long way to go. You don't want to lose a year of eligibility. My deal was call him up in September. Now that he's hurt and he's going to be out for 4 weeks and be out, I don't know, maybe you still call him up in September. That's where I'm at with this because that doesn't affect the eligibility. He gets a month in the final season of traveling with the team. You get him some at-bats, couple of starts. I don't have a problem with that. The Jays will probably be about 17 games under 500 by the time we get to that point. So what was your take on that? My deal was don't call him up then. I mean, Blue Jay fans wanted him a month ago. Mm-hmm. I said wait till September 1st.
You know, it's funny, Gabe, we've never talked on this subject. I have the identical take. If you're going to bring him up when it doesn't affect his service time, I'm fine with that. But what's the harm in having him marinate a little bit in the majors right now? As you said, only Double-A right now. We know this kid's special. We know he's got a huge future. Only 19, only Double-A. Gabe, do you remember a couple years ago we had the surefire stud Travis Schneider coming through our system? Surefire. Everyone wanted to bring him up. JP Ricciardi said no. Finally, he acquiesced to the fan base, brought him up. Schneider hits a bunch of home runs at Yankee Stadium in his first series and thinks, oh, my God, I'm a star at this level. And everything he did the rest of his career, he tried to hit home runs. It's screwed with this 19-year-old, 20-year-old kid. I don't want to see something like that happen. There's no sense for that to happen. Vlad Jr., Bichette, Biggio, all these guys, Rowdy Tellez, all these guys, 2019 going forward, there's your core. There's no need right now.
Yeah, you let it play out organically, exactly. Mm-hmm. I said, I don't have a problem. You bring him up now with this injury, it changes things a little bit. It changes everything almost, but at least for this year. But I would still bring him up. If he's healthy again, 4 weeks from now is what? Fucking mid-July. If he's healthy enough by September, and he's in a groove and shit, you bring him up just to get him a taste of the hype and stuff. Because there's going to be media in his face. There's going to be people around. The fact that, he's in Canada, the Guerrero connection. He's the biggest up-and-coming superstar in baseball right now as a whole. Let him get a feel for the little media circus that's going to be around. And then next year, you let him compete for a starting position.
No, I love that. And you know what? In September, too, with the unbalanced schedule in baseball, you play your division the whole damn month. So he's going to be going to Yankee Stadium. He's going to be going to Fenway. He's going to be getting acclimatized in a non-pressure scenario. Because when he gets acclimatized in 2019, it's going to be go time. So it's like a free look for him in September. It doesn't affect the service time. No, I'm all over that.
Now, that's the thing, too. If you bring him up too early also and he struggles a bit and shit, then it's almost a wasted season. Like, it's too soon. Let him dominate down there. I mean, people want to rush everything all the time,
Instant gratification, yeah.
Playing in fucking New Hampshire, for fuck's sakes. He's playing in New Hampshire. You know what I mean? Like he's, let it come naturally. And he's going to be up here soon. I know there's a lot of young guys that do well in baseball, but you called it, Craig. We see it all the time, man. Even look at Hoskins. Look at Hoskins.
Man. Bellinger, your boy Bellinger. What's he doing this year?
Said, Hoskins going to hit 50 fucking home runs this year. And then he started to try to hit home runs, and he couldn't, because he's trying to. Like you said, Cody Bellinger, fuck, the kid can't get on track right now.
Yeah, and then what do? You send them down? That's a major loss. That's in the loss column if you have to send them down afterwards.
Pitchers figure these kids out early and stuff, right?
Exactly correct.
So, like, okay, we've seen this guy a couple of times, and we know he can't hit this pitch. They don't know at first. So, like, that's why, like, you'll see even pitchers, it's hit or miss with Major League Baseball pitchers that come up. I know a lot of people, often bettors, used to say, oh, they called some kid up from AAA. He's going to get rocked. And a lot of times it doesn't happen, Craig, because the batters don't know anything about the pitcher. So they don't know his delivery and his mechanics. Like these baseball players, they're all creatures of habit. Fuck. Like they're looking at the ball, but a lot of them know the pitchers. They'll know, okay, if fucking David Price fucking sort of tweaks his arm, I know he's throwing a fastball. Like they know it's like poker tells, right? Like they really look for these little things. They study it. So you get some new kid that comes in here that's throwing 97 miles an hour wild and shit. They don't fucking know, right? It rattles them, but they figure it out fast. And pitchers figure out hitters fast too. Fuck.
Remember when we were growing up, Gabe? You remember Moro Gazzo way back in the day on the Blue Jays? He started his career like 8-0. He's like the next coming of Cy Young. He never won another game because he went around the league again. And now instead of the scouting report being one page, it was a book, and the hitters had seen them. They made the adjustments. That's why the hitters are at the big league level, because they can make adjustments.
The Japanese pitchers have that problem, if you notice.
Very
like,
definitely.
Japanese, like Tomooka and all these guys, they come over, and Nomo or whoever, they come over, and they're fucking Nomo's throwing no hitters and shit. And then 3 years later, man, he's giving up grand slams. You know what I mean? Because like people are like, they don't know, like the Japanese guys always have some weird delivery or hitch that like Americans don't have, or the Dominicans don't have. And then they figure it out. It takes like 6 months or a year. And then they're like, all right, fuck, I faced this fucker 3 times. Now I know when he turns around, he's coming slow. Like like I said, they're creatures of habit. So you'll notice a lot of Asian pitchers dominate right away. And then it starts to fall apart as the years go on.
You know what it is, Gabe? You remember when Miami put in the Wildcat and started beating everybody? Then everyone caught on to it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because no one had seen it. Then all of a sudden, a scouting report came out on how you defend it, and that was the end of that. You don't even see it anymore.
No, you're exactly right. The Wildcat, that was great. The worst is when teams, the Buffalo Bills did this, like this year. Like it's like the Wildcat never works anymore, first off, because everyone knows you're running the ball. Everyone knows what you're doing. So it's, like you said at first, it was like they're not really just handing this off, are they? And you know, it threw people off. But the Bills, I hate the Wildcat now. It's like, oh God, fuck. Is that really what you're coming up with?
No.
You know, it's funny. I don't know if you saw today. Brett Favre said he actually invented the run pass option.
How did he figure that?
Basically, like as we know it, it was sort of invented by Kaepernick and Harbaugh, right? In which, so that was the first time people were doing that, essentially. In which, you know, in
San Francisco, that's right, yeah.
So they either pass it and they could dump it off, and it's up to the quarterback to run or not. And I guess Brett Favre did it in practice by accident, basically.
Oh, wow, okay.
Like years ago, he did it in practice. And he sort of ran. It was kind of a fuck up. And he sort of ran and he dumped it off. And a light went off in his head. He was like, holy fuck, man. He goes, they bid on this. So he went to Mike Sherman, who was the fucking the coach. And he told Sherman, listen, fuck, look at what I just fucking did here. And look what the defense does when I do this. And he goes, I think this will be a great fucking play. And Mike Sherman told him it'll never work. I guess that's why Mike Sherman's fucking coaching the Montreal Alouettes right now. And Brett Favre's in the Hall of Fame. But, yeah, Rich Rod ran it. Well, in college they've done it. But in the pro level and in the way they did. But, you know, Brett Favre would have liked to do it, but he would have gotten killed. That's the whole thing. And that's a good point, Craig. Because, look, in year one, Kaepernick was running fucking everywhere. People really didn't know how to deal with it.
No, that's right.
And then what happened in year 2? People are like, you know what? We don't know how to deal with this, so let's just fucking nail Kaepernick. Fuck.
And they figured out how to deal with it from that point.
They fucking smoked him all the time. And he was a live runner because he was running with the ball. And then Harbaugh realized, all right, I'm going to get him fucking killed. We can't do this anymore. Fuck.
Well, and that's the point that I guess that person was making against that. If I understood the point correctly, is that's how they figured out the Wildcat. They reached out to their buddies in college who coach against Wildcats and things all the time, and the scouting report got built.
Yeah. I can't wait for football. We'll see. I know you're a big Craig's a big Dolphin fan. So
I don't brag about it. I'll tell you that. I don't brag about it.
Yeah. Well, I'm a Bills fan, so hey.
Oh boy, that's right. You're
basically
Bills fan, big time.
Basically, look, the Patriots. Look, the Golden State Warriors are going to dominate longer than the Patriots are. Like the Patriots are at the end of the line. Like this might be their last year to win it. And they might not even win it this year, but it's coming to an end, their little run. And then it'll be up to the Jets, the Bills, and the Dolphins, one of our loser fucking teams.
God help us all, yeah. I can't wait for that day. Gabe, you and I have been waiting for that for time.
He's any good.
Yeah.
The Jets got Sam Darnold. And you guys decided not to go with the quarterback, which I was surprised about.
We haven't had a quarterback in years. We haven't had a quarterback since Dan Marino left, Gabe. I know this.
I don't mind Tannehill. I'm in the minority that doesn't think Tannehill sucks.
He's the bane of my existence, Gabe. I tell you, oh man, we can't even get into this right now, brother.
But you know what? No, listen, I don't want him as my quarterback. I'm just saying he's not as terrible. He's not as terrible as people think. The thing, he really was getting better, and then he got hurt. So what I'm concerned
that's a problem, yes.
Now again, that he's sort of going to regress, and you're going to have to teach him all over again.
Because that is true. He had a great season, and then he did get hurt. That is, I mean, that's luck of a Dolphin fan. He's like our 17th quarterback since Dan Marino. People ask me all the time why I get so upset about the Dolphins. I tell them, you don't understand. I grew up with Dan Marino. I grew up where quarterback wasn't an issue. Quarterback was on lockdown. The defense reeked. There was no running back. There was other problems. Now, since then, oh my God, the quarterbacks we've run out there. Gabe, I think you've taken some snaps. Nick Ozzie, I think, has taken some snaps for the Dolphins over the last couple of years. It's been incredible.
Yeah, the Jay Fielders.
Jay Fielder was our most successful guy.
Sage Roosevelt.
Oh, Sage. Oh, Lord.
Yeah, you guys have had a lot of quarterback. The thing with Tannehill is he's not a quarterback. Like that's what people never really seem to understand. It's like, guys, he was a fucking wide receiver at Texas A&M, and they made him a quarterback because he's got a cannon of an arm. I guess he played in high school and shit, but he was actually not good enough to be their quarterback at A&M until he was. And then he was one of those guys that, you know who Ryan Tannehill is? He's just the guy that's a wicked athlete, but he's not a good quarterback. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like Tannehill, like we can't, he's a loser. No, Tannehill is a way better athlete than all of us times 1,000. The guy is a good baseball player. He's got a great arm. You know, he's athletic, but he didn't grow up playing quarterback. So he doesn't see things the same way. He's just an arm. He's just an arm, you know?
That's exactly correct. And that's why my same issues with him now are the same issues I had from day one, Gabe, because of what you just said. He hasn't progressed because he's not capable of progress. This isn't a quarterback in a quarterback's body with a quarterback's mind needing to develop, needing to get NFL coaching. This is not an NFL quarterback.
No, but he's talented.
He's athletic. I don't know if he's talented. He's athletic.
Yeah, he's better than Terrell Pryor. Someone could
Terrell. You're the one that'll remember this, Gabe. This just jumped in my head. Remember the one, the snow game back in the day, the Thanksgiving against Dallas, where Leon Lett slid into the ball? That was Steve DeBerg. Speaking of dog, that just dawned on me right now. We were running Steve DeBerg out there for crying out loud. Yeah.
I wouldn't have guessed that if you would have told me that. I remember you guys gave all that money to Scott Mitchell. I remember him.
Oh, Lord.
Steve DeBerg. I actually remember that game. I watched that game in Super Sex Strip Club.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So you
it's such a degenerate. Thanksgiving Day. Yeah, I'm at a strip club in the middle of the afternoon. And
sounds great.
I actually had the Dolphins in that game. I remember I took the points.
Well, you're welcome.
Yeah. I never would have guessed Steve DeBerg.
Yeah, no, Steve DeBerg, man. And Keith Byers got that long touchdown, made the Snow Angels.
Every fucking team.
Oh, yeah, exactly right. Exactly correct. I think he's suited up for the Argos tonight.
Kansas City Chiefs. Steve DeBerg.
That's how bad it's got, Gabe. I would have long, luxurious hair. That's how bad it's got in Dolphins land. Last year we gave away Jay Ajayi. Just give away Jay Ajayi. Go ahead. 200-yard a game running back. Just hand him to Philadelphia. He goes and wins the Super Bowl.
No, Brett Patterson, you got it backwards. Scott Mitchell played well for the Lions with Wayne Fonts. And they went to the playoffs and shit. And then the Dolphins gave him a shitload of money, brought him in. And
no, that was us. That was the Dolphins he played well for when Marino wrecked his ACL. And then Detroit gave him all the money.
Push Dan Marino. Oh, and then the Lions signed him. Yeah. But, you guys wanted to push Dan Marino out for Scott Mitchell.
If that makes sense to you, you go ahead and explain it to me. And we could have had Drew Brees. Remember that? They had the choice between Drew Brees and Dante Culpepper, and they threw all the money at Dante Culpepper. How'd that work out?
Scott Mitchell was the quarterback after, so when Jimmy Johnson lost to Jacksonville, right? Well, didn't they get killed like fucking
104-0?
Yeah, well, that was it. So, and then that was Dan Marino's last game, right?
Absolutely. Mitchell was in Detroit, I believe, at that time. He had cashed in on subbing in for Marino the year before. It was either the year before or 2 years before. But yeah, that was it for Dan. That was Dan Marino's last game, Gabe. Literally like 63-0. Now, how do you think that feels?
Yeah, old Jimmy Johnson, a legend.
Yes. Or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is the running back. Remember that?
Yeah, UCLA. That was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Yeah. Didn't Kareem Abdul-Jabbar actually play at UCLA too?
Absolutely.
The running back.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yes. Absolutely. Yeah. Yes. The Lou Alcindor Kareem Abdul-Jabbar sued him because of that. Said, this is way too much like me now. You took my name and you're gone to the same school. Sued him and lost. The running back won. That Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is the only 1,000-yard rusher Dan Marino ever had.
That's fucking hilarious. I forgot about that. So I said UCLA. I was like, well, the basketball. But I was like, no.
Well, you're right.
I'm very good at, like, if you name a football player to me, I'm pretty good at, like, telling you what college he went to. So when you said his name, I was like, yeah, running back UCLA.
Absolutely correct.
Oh, fuck. Is it really possible that they were both at UCLA?
And that's why he changed his name, because of Lou Alcindor. Same thing. He idolized this guy, changed his religion, everything.
Yeah. That was when it was trendy to become Muslim.
I guess. I had a jersey. I had an Abdul-Jabbar jersey, a Dolphins jersey, number 32.
And then that whole 9/11 thing happened.
Yeah, and then that went out the window, I guess.
Yeah. I told people, like, if you remember in the old days when the Knicks were good with Larry Johnson and Latrell and those teams, I swear to God, I remember Larry Johnson hit a shot, and remember he used to do the L thing.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
He hit the shot. And after Hannah Storm interviewed him, and he praised Allah, fuck.
Wow, I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, he said, first off, I want to praise the Almighty Allah. And because, he converted to Islam, supposedly, at the time. I don't know, it was kind of loose, fuck. It seemed like it was a trendy thing to do in the NBA at the time. Wow. Yeah, I remember Chris Jackson became whatever he became.
Abdul Rauf.
Yeah. What was it? Mahmoud Abdul Rauf.
Mahmoud Abdul Rauf.
What was the other one? Abdul Rahim.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Sharif Abdul Rahim.
Sharif, yes, that's right.
Yeah, his name was like fucking something normal too. He changed his name. That was the thing at the time. Oh, here's Muhammad Jumba. Larry Johnson says he's Muslim, huh?
Wow.
Are Muslims allowed to get fucking wasted all the time?
That's my favorite college player ever. Larry Johnson was my favorite.
I don't know. I met Larry Johnson. He didn't strike me as very Muslim.
As you two were buying each other drinks at the bar?
Yeah, well, he was hammered in Vegas. Yeah, I don't like. My money is on that Larry Johnson's not, but hey, who am I to judge a man's religion? Craig, great stuff having you on, buddy. So tell people where they can find you on Twitter and your videos.
Appreciate it, Gabe. Always good to be on with you. My personal Twitter is @CraigBallard77. And the show is at Tight Coverage. It's at Tight_Coverage. We have a YouTube channel as well. Same thing, just Tight Coverage. A lot of Rapper stuff there right now. I'm going to be working on, of course, some baseball stuff, and we'll be heavy into the football as well, Gabe.
Hey, great stuff, Craig. Thanks for joining us, buddy.
Thank you. Take care, everybody.
All right, great stuff with Craig Ballard. Fun talking sports with Craig Ballard right there on the Monday Night Meltdown. Yeah, no longer trendy to be changing your name. I don't know. Was it Chris Jackson? Yeah, I'm due for a he. Might have been that at Cal, actually. I remember him at Cal. I think he was fucking that in college. Chris Jackson. I remember it was Chris Jackson. I don't remember the name he changed his name to. No, we're not a fan of the ska. We're not a fan of the ska extras. Fucking, I tell Flory all the fucking time, stop playing the ska. 5-3 in the baseball game. Man, like we said, the Angels aren't going away in this game. Fucking baseball, man. Like, you can blow leads, you can come back. Case in point, the Arizona Diamondbacks have come back and tied the Pittsburgh Pirates. They were down 5-0. They scored 5 runs in the 7th. And right now in the 8th, the Arizona Diamondbacks have runners on 1st and 3rd with nobody out. Man, I saw Juwan come in the chat. I saw you, Juwan. You were talking about, we got screwed too, bro. We had the under in that Cubs game. Unfucking believable, man. Well, it's believable. So with baseball, you're never out of it. You're never in it. You know what I mean? Like when you have a lead, you're not safe. When you're down, you could come back. It seems more often than not. It seems more often than not that the team won't come back when you need them to, but it's not really true. It goes both ways. I didn't think Arizona was going to come back, but I wasn't worried about Seattle when they were down 2-0 early. But it's 5-3 right now. Now, I think Albert Pujols on first base, so we're just a home run away from this game being fucking tied. Well, that's crazy, Ty Rich. You can make money betting baseball if you're patient by betting both sides. You need to take the underdog to start the game. Like a great example is, let's just say tonight, you take the Pittsburgh Pirates going into the game. They get out to a lead. You got the Pirates at plus money. Suddenly you can take Arizona as a big underdog when they're down, and you got plus money bet on both sides, and you move on to the next game. You know, we saw it tonight with Seattle and Anaheim. What did Seattle become? Like fucking plus 260, plus 240 when they were down 2-0? There are crazy swings, man, when it comes to baseball live in-game betting. There really are. Grinch just drank his Metamucil. I prefer the pills, Grinch. I don't really take pills, but fiber is different. It's more like a vitamin. Speaking of which, actually, Anthony Bourdain, of course, killed himself last week or on Friday, whenever it was. And There's a lot of speculation as to why. Who knows? But what we do know is that it turns out Anthony Bourdain was taking Chantrix. He was taking something called Chantrix. I guess it's like the not smoke or something. Except one of the side effects for Chantrix is, of course, suicidal fucking thoughts. You know when you see these ads on TV? Oh, you know what? You got an acne problem. We'll help you out with this pill. And then you hear the side effects. Constipation may cause cancer, may cause your hair to fall out, may cause suicidal thoughts, may cause you to murder someone. It's like, well, I don't know. I might be better off. Like whenever I hear one of these ads, I don't take any of those pills. So whenever I hear one of these ads, I always think, you're probably better off with the fucking symptoms than the side effects of these things. But like Chris Cornell didn't kill himself. I think it was a toxic cocktail of pills that these fucking pharmaceutical doctors and, basically like fucking 56% of Americans pop a pill on a daily basis of one kind. And many more take like many pills. There's a pill for that. There's a pill for this. I mean, when you watch the news, watch the cable news, every ad is just fucking pop a pill for this. Fuck. Oh, you're not feeling well. Pop this pill. Oh, you want to have sex? Pop this pill. Oh, fuck. Your heart's beating too fast. Like, it's like unnecessary surgery almost. Any doctor can get diagnosed with anything pretty much. And it's like, oh, you know what? You're depressed. Oh, you're bipolar. Oh, you're going to need this. Oh, And it's like, and then the doctors don't tell you that they're getting kickbacks by these fucking big pharma companies, that they want to enslave you. Because once you're taking a pill, you got to take it for life. And then they give you another pill, and then another one, and another. And then you're taking like all this different shit. And it's not a coincidence that people are just offering themselves here. Like Chris Cornell was popping a bunch of pills that was known to make people want to commit suicide. Now, Anthony Bourdain doesn't strike me as a dude that was that depressed that was going to off himself. The thing is, so get this, though. So you see CNN and all these news outlets talking about this, and CNN acts like they're doing a nice thing. And they put the suicide hotline number up. And, we got to talk about mental health and depression and, which is a good idea. Fine. But the thing is, not once did they bring up the fact that, he was popping a lot of Chantrix, and turns out Chantrix makes you want to kill yourself. Why isn't CNN bringing this up? Well, I'll tell you why they're not. Because every fucking second ad on CNN is a Chantrix ad. Big Pharma are the biggest advertiser buyers on cable news. And it's deliberate. If you ever wonder why, you're like, fuck, man, watch CNN or Fox News or MSNBC or any one of them. And every ad is a fucking pharmaceutical company. It's like, why? It's like, I get it, you're advertising, but why are you advertising so much on the news? Well, because they're controlling the news this way. If fucking Chantrix and Johnson & Johnson and fucking Merck and all these companies are fucking giving Fox News and CNN billions of dollars a year in advertising, then Anderson Cooper isn't going to be keeping anybody fucking honest now, is he? So Anderson Cooper can sit there and act all upset, and he is upset because his own brother committed suicide. So I'm not making light of that, but if Anderson Cooper is a real journalist, he would probably drop. And oh, by the way, it should be at least discussed. We're not blaming Chantrix, but it should be discussed that he was taking this, and there seems to be a long list of suicides associated with Chantrix. But they're not going to do that because Chantrix buys all their spots. Like I said, some people need medication. So I'm not stating that, for me, medication is to be used for medical reasons. For medical reasons. you have a rash, you need antibiotics, you have a fucking heart condition, etc. But the random sort of, I want to quit smoking, so I'm going to pop this pill. How about you want to quit smoking? Willpower. Willpower is the only human cure, to be honest with you. Willpower. Everybody wants it out. I eat too much, so let me get my fucking stomach stapled. Or I'm going to pop these pills. I don't want to fucking stop smoking on my own, so I'll just pop these pills instead. Right? It's the road to hell, man. It's the road to hell. It's the road to hell, this stuff. And as I stated, some of you probably take medication, and I'm not telling you, don't take it. But what I am saying is the medical industry and a lot of doctors don't have your best interest at heart. They want to get you hooked on this shit, like the kids. Pop this Ritalin. I don't know. How about the parents spend more time with the kid? Fucking actually, the kid will be a fucking more normal kid. If you want to drop your kid in front of a TV or never pay attention to him, and then he acts fucking crazy, and then, he's acting crazy, let's put him in Ritalin. And then the doctor wants to give him the Ritalin because the doctor makes money off it. They're drug dealers. They're drug dealers. Man, I don't even take painkillers, fuck. When I broke my foot, I had fucking severe pain after, and they gave me these pills and shit. I took the pills. I was all wasted and shit. And it wasn't worth it. I had a fucking stomach ache from the pills. I was all fucking wasted from the pill. The next day, I threw them out and shit. I was like, fuck this. I'd rather live with the pain than fucking. And then sure enough, the next day, right around the same time that I took the pill, I wanted them. I was like, fuck, I sort of want to get buzzed like I did yesterday. And no shit, fuck. It's fucking more addictive than heroin, this shit. Fucking Percocets and Vicodins. And they give this shit out like it's Tic Tacs to people. Like I said, over 53% of Americans are taking 6 pills a day and shit. It's fucking obscene. Suddenly your fucking arteries are all hardened from the pills and the chemicals. Well, don't worry, they'll give you a pill to fucking bust up the hardness of the artery. It never ends, fuck. Here, take this pill. No, you gotta take, but like I said, some people need medication, but these ads on TV, stop smoking, take this pill. You're too fat, take this pill. You know what? You don't like your fucking face. Let me fucking Botox it up and staple your forehead. Well, if you do these things, then don't be surprised after when shit happens. Exactly. Marijuana, a natural, a God's product, not a fucking Merck product and a Johnson & Johnson by Bayer product. Yeah, and the doctors get fucking free vacations on these cruises and shit with a bunch of hookers, so they give the pills to people. It's fucking an ugly scene, man. Oh yeah, they prey on the elderly. Oh, you better take this, Mrs. Johnson. And then they fight marijuana. They fight what's natural, marijuana use. The same bullshit. The same thing. I hear people all the time, even people I know, they're like, I took my pills to go to sleep. It's I don't know, man. I have a hard time sleeping often, but instead, I just deal with it or I try to go to sleep. It's a cop-out. And as I said, I'm not judging people that need pills. Some people have medical, or mental fucking disorders. They need this shit, but like I said, the easy way outs. I took this for smoking. I take this to go to sleep. So in other words, you drug yourself to go to sleep. You're not going to sleep. You're fucking passing out. You're getting wasted and passing out on a pill. That's not going to sleep. I mean, I could drink a bottle of vodka and say I went to sleep. Eventually, yeah, I'll go to sleep. It's yeah. It's, you know what I mean? It's To me, that's not normal. It's like I would rather have my body and maybe be tired or whatever a bit when I woke up than actually be, oh, I just slept 10 hours. Yeah, because I popped 3 pills. It's like, well, how are you going to sleep tonight? Well, you better pop another 4 pills, right? Because the 3 ain't kicking anymore. Look, I'm in a very addictive personality to begin with, so I'm not judging anybody, right? But maybe this is why I don't take pills. I've had people in my family that have had pill problems. I've seen it firsthand, and it's never something I've been interested in. I'm a pretty natural person, you know. Like I might eat junk food and shit, but like, I don't even take aspirins, fuck. Like, I don't take any pills. Like, I don't take anything. Besides Metamucil. How all this started. Metamucil. I've been popping fiber pills, fuck, to bust my very damaged stomach up. But I, you know what? I guarantee you, man, if I went to a doctor and said, oh, I need this pill because of my stomach and that pill, they'd give it to me. I never asked them. I don't want any of that shit. Oh, that's great. I didn't know that, Scott. Of course. So Monsanto's the most evil company in the world, bought by Bayer. What a shock, fuck. Yeah, I'm sure Bayer's buying them with good intentions. So what? Now they want to poison all of our food too, right? They're going to poison our food and then give us a pill for it. It's like, fuck you. I know I'm already getting poisoned by your food, so I'm not going to get double poisoned by your pills. $65 billion takeover. Holy fuck. Yeah. Well, you can thank fucking the Democrats and fucking the politicians for all the politicians, both parties, but Hillary's fucking, I think Hillary's on the fucking board, fucking Monsanto. Some evil shit, man. Yeah, they're great people, Ty Rich. I know, they're great. If you mean by being the biggest distributor of pesticides, yeah. And basically fucking playing God, then yeah, they're great people, fuck. They're great people, if that's what you mean. I didn't know that Domino's owns 2%. Fuck. That's why their pizza is average. I want to invest in North Korea stock. Fuck. I'm buying stock in North Korea. Yeah, settle down, Massler. All right. We get your point, but yeah, come on, you can't be a settle down, Massler. Yeah, an average. Yeah, of course Domino's is surging. They're in cahoots with Monsanto. I didn't know that. Of course they are. Fuck. Now I know I'm getting poison in their pizza. The CFL, yeah, it's always been my dream, Drew Martin, to buy the Calgary Stampeders. No, Domino's a good company. I'm not surprised their stock's going up. I used to like their pizza more, but I'm not a massive fan of Domino's. I find it to be inconsistent. Yeah, I've never even been to a Calgary Stampeders game in Calgary before, but I had a dream. That I bought the Calgary Stampeders. I very, very vivid too. I don't remember a lot of my dreams, but I vividly, I was talking to the players at midfield and everything about it. I was like pointing up to the stands, and I was like, listen, I said, if we don't fucking win, we're not going to sell tickets. So you guys got to fucking win. I was like bitching at the team about winning games. I'll tell you what, we're good to see you, Drew Martin. The BC Lions, that's my best bet of the week this week, man. -6.5. That line's got to go up. Yeah, no, if I own the Calgary Stampeders, I'm putting a picture up of Kowski, and I'm going to tell him he's barred from my stadium. Fuck. The ban continues. Yeah, like if Mick thinks that, if you guys thought if I bought the Stampeders that the ban for Mick is lifted at the stadium, it's not. Mick Kowski's still banned, not allowed in the stadium for cutting the tree, defacing the stadium. Am I on the Marlies to win tomorrow? No, you know what? They probably will. They win every fucking game, King Ganja, yeah. So, yeah, I'll get on the Marlies tomorrow. I left a lot of Marley money on the table this year. Oh, yeah. BC's going to kill Montreal. BC is going to kill Montreal. Saturday night is you can do a nice little 7-point teaser if you want. You can take the Calgary Stampeders down to -2 against Hamilton. Or you just lay the 6.5 with BC. Take the parlay or moneyline parlay. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to moneyline parlay the Calgary Stampeders and BC Lions. And then I'm going to lay the BC Lions minus the points as well. Oh, that'd be great, fuck. If I own the stadium, I could just make fun of Mick. Mick's inside the stadium. Yeah, there is big will at some sports books. Yes, there's futures for over-unders for the season, yeah. Yeah, some books have season win totals. Not all of them, but there's a few out there. Unbelievable. The Arizona Diamondbacks are now up 9-5. That's what I'm saying. Baseball, huh? Fucking baseball. You have a fucking. Imagine you're a Pittsburgh Pirate backer tonight. You're up 5-0. You're up 5-0 going into the 7th inning, and right now you're down 9-5. It's like, holy shit! Are you fucking kidding me? Well, that's okay because I'm on the Arizona Diamondbacks. Seattle Mariners win 5-3. Boom. What did I say all day today? I posted it on Patreon. I talked about it on the radio show today. And I even talked about it right before this Angels game started tonight. Like, really? The Angels were fucking favorites tonight? Are you shitting me? We just cashed a bet with the fucking Seattle Mariners plus 100 against the Angels on the road against a fucking team that's 17-5 in the last 22 games, now 18-5 in the last 23 games. Come on. The books don't make errors like this very often, but that was a bad number, man. Seattle plus 100. Free money. There were some weird numbers today, man. Boston were minus 115 earlier in the morning before Machado was out. I was like, are you kidding me? Fuck. It's fucking Boston versus Baltimore. This number freaked me out. And I got on Arizona tonight because same thing. I've been talking about Arizona and how streaky they are, Arizona. Arizona are now 10-3 in their last 13 baseball games. Yeah, Larry Savage, LeBron's going to the Lakers, bro. Sonny Vega. Sonny, you're a patron. I post the pics on Patreon. Do you even see those things? Yeah, the Cubs are hot, and they always beat the Brewers, too, man. The Brewers are good, but they always choke against them. Sonny, I post the pics on Patreon, and I know you are a Patreon. And I also tweet them out. Yeah, I think LeBron's going. I think it's for real. I think LeBron's going to the Lakers. I know, son. You got a lot on your mind, Sonny. I said it 38 times on here. All right, so how do we do with baseball tonight? How do we do in baseball tonight? We had 6 baseball picks. We had our original 3. Boston Red Sox, winner. Arizona Diamondbacks, not winner yet. Not winner yet, but Arizona Diamondbacks looking good. And Seattle Mariners. Those are my 3 original baseball picks today. So I could have potentially just went 3-0. But then I was like, oh, I'm a degenerate, so I'm going to play 3 more games. I added the Cleveland Indians, minus 1.5 runs, winner. We added the Chicago Cubs, Milwaukee Brewers, under 8.5. Loser. And we added the San Francisco Giants, loser. See, I could have went 3-0, but I got greedy, and instead I end up going 4-2. Son of a bitch. 4-2 is not bad. One good thing is, too, I put more on Seattle on the way out here at nighttime, too, as I told you. I like Seattle to win this game. Whatever, man. For those of you that have been paying attention, our picks have been pretty fucking good for the last 2 weeks or so. I'm sort of getting into a baseball groove. Our NBA was pretty good. Good, not great. And sets us up for the World Cup. So I thought we'd get to more World Cup tonight, but we're going to be wrapping up in a few minutes here. And we'll jump in tomorrow night. We'll get real serious to it. Listen, Feinberg will join us tomorrow night. U.S. Open golf talk, CFL. We got lines for all the games. Like I said, I like the BC Lions minus the 6.5. It's a tough week. One cool thing I noticed over at Bet365 this week for the World Cup, if you play a future on a team and the team gets eliminated by the World Cup in penalty kicks, you get your money back. That's not a bad little perk. Speaking of which, we were looking at the numbers today. Outrights. To win outright. Germany. Germany plus 450. $500 on Germany pays $2,750. $900 on Germany pays $4,950. Yeah, I know. Speaking of, that's it. That's it, Chance Briggs. A very good point. We were just talking about all these pills tonight. With Feinberg joining us, get your Gravol out. No, Feinberg didn't move around that much. I don't know, man. The Thursday game in Edmonton's a tricky one, Jamba. Yeah, I was going to invite Anderson on this week for the golf. He likes golf, actually. Serbia and Costa Rica under 2. I prefer a 2.5. I'll see the number there. I listen, guys. Germany's going to win the fucking World Cup, all right? Germany's going to win the World Cup. I know everyone's going to get cute and overthink this, but it's a lot like Villanova winning the college basketball. Germany won the World Cup in 2014. I don't know. There's some people that think Germany might have left some guys off the team they shouldn't have, but they don't like that fucking Sané guy. So the coach doesn't like him, and he wasn't going to play him. And he would have been a distraction if he wasn't playing because he's a star player and he wasn't going to play. Germany are that deep. Like, Germany is scary deep that they're leaving, like, fucking numerous guys off that people are shocked about. I was watching a German conversation on the Germans. It was like a European show, and they were talking about the decisions that were made, and one of the guys was freaking out. There's no way you leave fucking Leroy off the team, and what he did with Man City is unbelievable, and you know, it's crazy, and you got to have him on the team. And basically one of the guys on the panel, he's a former player with Spain. He goes, you know, the guy that picks the German team has been doing it for a while, and he's kind of pretty good at it. So, you know, like the guy said, it's kind of hard to judge the Germans and the decisions that they make. And it's pretty much, look, that Sané guy, he didn't play in the Confederations Cup, and that's what it comes down to. He didn't play in the Confederations Cup, and the Germans, you don't want to play for them, then hey, then fine. You know, you're not going to be in the World Cup then. That's the way they looked at it. Brazil are very dangerous. I'm not going to deny it. Brazil are very dangerous. I'm not denying Brazil is a dangerous team and it could win. I don't think Brazil will win. We talk about Latin American or South American countries winning on European soil. It doesn't happen. It never happens. I think it happened once in like the fucking 48 or 52 or something. Like, it happened once, I believe. Brazil, I'm not hating, Andy. I'm not hating. I say Brazil are good. I'll be betting on Brazil to win the group and shit. Brazil are going to do well. But Brazil are going to have to play Belgium in the quarterfinals. Oh, yeah. Costa Rica, Drew. Costa Rica is going to be looking to fucking they want to play 0-0. Like, Yeah, this I was going to say this Costa Rican team this year. This Costa Rican team this year, they're not as good as the World Cup team as last year, Drew. Last year, they caught people by surprise. They had some good players. They can't score, Costa Rica. Like, they don't have any firepower. Like, they don't have anybody that's scaring anybody, essentially. Like, their best player is their goalie. They're going to be hanging off for dear life. They're in a really tough group. Like, they're not beating Brazil. They have to play Brazil and shit. They have to play Serbia. Costa Rica, listen, I'll be pulling for them in a sense, but I might have to bet against them and say that they're not going to qualify. I don't know, DeLuca, because people are hyped up on Egypt and people are hyped up on Russia for some reason. Egypt are all right, but Uruguay's winning that group. I don't think people realize how good Uruguay are. Uruguay finished second, man, in all of South America. Only after Brazil. Edmonton, Calgary, Toronto, BC. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I can't argue with that. I can't argue, Kelly. Yeah, like Mohamed Jamba. Russia's overpriced and Egypt's getting a lot of hype because of Salah. So, but look, Uruguay, all you need to know about how good Uruguay are is they're the sixth team. This the ninth team out of 32 on the tote board. But some of these other teams are hype. Like, don't tell me Uruguay's not better than England. And don't tell me Uruguay's, and well, all due respect to Portugal, and I respect Portugal, but Uruguay's better than Portugal. But Uruguay's not going. Like, they're gonna win the group and shit, but they run into they have problems like down the road. We're gonna get out of here. We'll talk about this tomorrow night. We'll talk golf, U.S. Open, and World Cup tomorrow night. But I'm telling you what, guys, I'm looking at Iceland right now. I'm buying into the Icelandics here, the Icelanders. I remember them from the fucking Euro, man. They're a fucking bitch to play against, these guys. They're fucking Vikings, man. They're really into this shit. Like, you want to see a team that fucking forechecks or like pressures and, you know what I mean? Like a hockey team that's in your face. These guys from Iceland, there's no room. You have no room. Like, I don't know where they get the energy. They're eating fucking raw fucking fish heads or something out of the ocean. Like, these guys run like motherfucks, man. They're in your face. They're physical. Like, you can't move. Fuck. You get the ball, and right away, you got some fucking dude from Iceland in your face. Now, they're not the most offensively skilled team, but their willpower really is like. And to me, it's a group in which, you know, they can get out of this group. Look, France, Australia, Peru, and Denmark. Australia is another one that's starting to fucking, they're a tough out. Peru could choke. Peru probably is the team that gets out of there, but in the Iceland group, it's Argentina, Iceland, Croatia, and Nigeria. I think Croatia are overrated, personally. I'm not buying into Croatia. I'm not going to have them in any parlays. I'm not fucking with them. I don't trust them. I don't trust them. Nigeria are good. I mean, Iceland, Croatia, Nigeria, any one of them I think could fucking get in. For the record, Croatia minus 200 to qualify. Argentina minus 700. Nigeria plus 225. And Iceland plus 275. The lowest ranked team in the entire tournament, according to the power rankings, is Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia, like according to a power poll type thing, they are the worst team in the tournament. So they're not advancing. That's a sure shot lock parlay. With all due respect to our boy Van Fob, Iran is not advancing. They're fucked. Like it's Portugal and Spain. And even if something miraculously happened where, let's say, Portugal totally fell apart somehow, it won't be fucking Iran. It would be Morocco that slipped in somehow. Iran's not advancing. France, Australia, Peru, and Denmark. This one's tough. France should win the group if you want to put it in a parlay. To qualify is 20-1. You can't really say definitively, though, that no one will not qualify in this group. You know, like Australia could qualify, Peru could, and Denmark could. Like Denmark's minus 138, Peru's plus 162. So that's pretty much evenly matched. And all Australia would need to do is just upset fucking Peru or Denmark or tie them a couple of times. It's a possibility. Costa Rica are fucked. Switzerland are good. Like Switzerland don't suck. And Serbia are a fucking pretty good team too. Costa Rica is just, it's minus 500 that they don't qualify. I don't think they're not going to get out of this group. I know they went on a run in 2014, but that was 4 years ago. I'm buying into Mexico. I'm starting to buy what Mexico's selling. Team El Chapo. I'm starting to think they can get out of this group. Fuck. Sweden always underachieved. South Korea are no good. Mexico can get out of this group, but it's no lock. It's minus 110. We'll talk about the bets tomorrow, and because we'll put together a few safe parlays, but we'll also take a shot with a few. Like Uruguay, we're going to bet like a nickel on Uruguay to win the group. Minus 138. Uruguay's winning that group. I'll bet on Uruguay to win the group. I'll bet on Germany to win the tournament. And I'll play a bunch of these parlays, and maybe I'll find another one. Germany, Mexico, Sweden, South Korea. Germany's 1,200 to advance in the group. Minus 300 to win the group. We all talk about Tunisia not qualifying, but Tunisia is actually better than Panama. Panama are bad. I don't know how Panama got in this, to be honest. Panama playing the same bullshit as we do. Fuck Canada and Jamaica and all that. That's how they got in. But Belgium and England are both qualifying out of that group. And then Poland, Senegal, Colombia, Japan. There's no real stone cold lock here. Poland are plus 175 to win the group. Colombia are plus 137 to win the group. Japan's plus 750. Senegal's plus 450. To qualify, Poland's minus 175. Is Poland a fucking stone cold lock to advance? I don't know. Probably, but not really like stone cold like these other teams. I don't understand these odds. This is bizarre. Fuck. There's sort of a discrepancy here, but no, okay. Basically what it is, it's solar. It's my bad. I misread it. I'm looking at a lot of numbers here. Fuck. Colombia are actually favored to win this group now. Colombia are plus 137 to win the group, minus 275 to advance, and Colombia will advance. Colombia are a dangerous team, but they run into trouble when they get out of this group anyways down the road. But Colombia will advance. And we talked on Friday night, even the computer algorithms and shit have Colombia as one of the top 6 teams in the tournament. Or at least one of the top 6 teams from percentage-wise is to advance. Japan won't be able to deal with Colombia. Fuck. Senegal's going to have a hard time with them too. Colombia and Poland will play to see who wins. So this parlay right here that we just clicked here, we just put together. Saudi Arabia not to qualify. Iran not to qualify. France to qualify. Costa Rica not to qualify. Germany to qualify. Panama not to qualify. Colombia to qualify, plus 140. That's just one parlay. We have safer ones. It's up to you. You know what I mean? I have another one actually that was just a few teams. It was minus 157. It was Saudi Arabia not to qualify, Iran not to qualify. Tunisia not to qualify. There was one more. Fuck, which one was it? Fuck, I think it was Australia that I put the other time, but I don't really love that as much anymore. Costa Rica is safer not to qualify. I don't want to pick on Costa Rica, but they're in a tough group. Brazil are fucking, Brazil could win the entire tournament. Serbia are good and Switzerland are good. Like, Costa Rica's in trouble there. They're not going to qualify. So if you got Saudi Arabia not to qualify, Iran not to qualify, Tunisia not to qualify, Costa Rica not to qualify, minus 146. Not bad. But we'll continue tomorrow night. We'll have them all locked in. I'm going to start clicking them tomorrow, so I'll rattle them off what we got in here. We'll talk some soccer, some golf tomorrow night. Hopefully we can crush the baseball board again. We appreciate everybody joining us here this evening. We'll see you tomorrow night. Make sure to give us a thumbs up on the way out. Support SBR. Check out their odds page. If you're going to be betting the World Cup, go over to the sportsbookreview.com, betting page. Pick out a sportsbook. Go look at the sportsbook reviews. Pick out a sportsbook that's right for you, and click away. Get that deposit bonus, and we'll crush the World Cup together. And check out all the video programming on SBR in the morning. We'll be back tomorrow night with you. I'll be on at 4 o'clock in the afternoon on the radio. Big Man on Campus will be stepping up, and he'll be talking World Cup. Good seeing Craig Ballard. Thanks to everybody for tuning in. For the Sports Rage Band. I am Gabe Morency. We want to thank our sponsors. If you're going to Russia for the World Cup, Malaysian Airlines. So, of course, Malaysian Airlines, where we only sell one-way tickets. Other than that, you're on your own. Later.